something up their sleeve. It's getting a little weird. Kind of monkeying around a little bit to kind of bounce off how Bren was talking about the composition. But hey, like you said, they've got the confidence in it, and this is the time to get it done. And, you know, maybe you lose map 1 and you can reverse sweep on your way out, just like they did against Xset. But it's a little scary, right? Cloud9 have been this beast, and Cloud9 also are going to have ways, I would imagine, to slow this down. We saw what the Neon could do on the attacking side to get around some of the starts of the rounds, but that won't be the case, as it's going to be Victor and friends on the defense, and it's Ye to go aggressive here in the pistol. Takes a shot, unfortunately misses it, but he's allowed to escape courtesy of the rendezvous. He swaps on over to the Classic and looks for something extra.
Talked about slowing things down, but Cloud9 speeding things up. It's going to be a fast hit towards C, but it's been conceded. In the fight in mid, that's a bit more important. There was a walk down by FNS. He initially had the help of Victor, but now, with a man advantage, that spike only just being planted, OpTic are in a position to retake this quickly, and they still have the utility left. Take a look towards FNS flashes on this one.
When the dash on in with the high gear, Victor able to find the first, and the frenzies are just shredding Cloud9 here. Oh my goodness, the Neon for 3, and sure, it's just the pistol, but that's a great way to get started with this comp again.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of conversation around this Cloud9 triple flash comp and the similar one that V1 has been running, but the way that OpTic are actually instituting just that double flasher plus the Neon is looking really impressive, at least in that first round, right? Very close. You have a sky flash on through, then a bit deeper, in comes this breach flash, so that staggers them. There's a player caught out in the open with that high gear, just sprinting on in for Victor. I mean, there's no way to cancel that out. You're blinded, you're getting overwhelmed. It's really tough to fight on away, and the critical part of that round that made it all possible was that kill in towards mid. This comp, sure, you have Ye on his chamber to hold space, but your information is largely reliant on aggression, and OpTic is showing that early on.
Aggressive take onto the C site from Cloud9, and an aggressive response from OpTic, and, well, Cloud9, they're doing pretty good after getting that spike planted. They force up here into this round. You see the Marshall, the Stinger, and Spectre's just behind it, looking for a quick B hit. And you see the sight lines here. This basically locked down. They should have an answer for this, and a flash out will confirm. Players out this way. Now, Data the first to fall. The Stinger's able to steal one back, but the Headhunter to secure one, and Marv to find another. Now, unfortunately, Vanity, he just can't get away. The IGLs go toe-to-toe once more, and it's Finesse to come out on top. And force buy didn't go the way that you were hoping if you're Cloud9, so they'll have to try again in a couple of rounds.
All right, interesting that Cloud9 do force into this round. They've been doing that quite a lot in like round 13 after the second pistol if they lose it. But this is the first time within this VCT run that they've actually elected to make that investment. I'm sure getting that spike down, dealing some damage on the OpTic is what baited them into it. They were hoping with the utility backup they might be able to get a spike down on B and then use those guns in the post, but doesn't work out. It's been a mixed bag of success for those Cloud9 force buy rounds. I don't hate it, right? But in MR12, it's a pretty big risk. I mean, they're staring down the barrel of a likely 3-0 start for OpTic, and, well, this is going to allow OpTic to bolster their economy in a big way. As, again, we see the A lobby fight. These A lobby fights are so much more potent than when it was Astra stuck to fight early on, because you have a relay bolt, you have a stun. Even if there was a Brim on the other side, there's not enough utility to get past all of that. There's not enough to break that timing. Cloud9 really just has to sit back and wait, let this utility run its course, and hope they can bait out enough in towards the late round. And they might have just done it in this one. Already space on B. Plant's coming down, and Mitch finds a big kill.
Yeah, that was a big one. Unfortunately, there's a Vandal just on the other side, and it's in the hands of Ye. Oh my goodness, close your eyes. I will walk you guys through the rest of the round, so we do not have to see something like that. So the Vandal has now gone to the hands of Zeppa here on the sky. Flashes, stuns, everything tossed out at the OpTic roster, and Cloud9 have done it in Cloud9 fashion, where they just find a way. It's all up to Marv. He doesn't have a whole lot to work with. He's run out of time. Now he's no HP. And Cloud9, they don't concede 3. They put one on the board.
Yeah, that is a really big round to pick on up, and you see the idea. It was very similar to what they did on that initial force buy. Provide a little early pressure towards A lobby, figure out what's going on there, then regress deep in towards the B site. The critical change-up, though, in this round was Mitch finding the kill. If he dies, this pinch in towards C-Link becomes so much more potent. But with him down, there's pressure from the backlines. So both Marv and the player who was there before him felt the pressure to fight on in because they were lacking so much space. They want to do it quickly and not give time for Cloud9 to establish, but it's that triple flasher comp again. The consistent re-aggression in the mid-round, and there it is again. Stun out towards long. They realize Victor would want to go for that ult, and they punish him.
They punish him. Perfect stun onto the speedy Neon. No way to get out of that one. Use up the flash, and Leaf looks the wrong way. An op shot from Ye will take him down, and the guns are still good on the side of OpTic. They're matched by Cloud9, and so are the kills. Okay, Nanoswarm over the top from Mitch. Gonna take down Crashies, and they found themselves in an equal situation as Ye takes another shot. It's looking to get that spike planted, and now he's the last one standing. Alarmbot goes down, the push is there, the vulnerability, but he picks up a weapon with 0 bullets in the magazine. Now Ye can just hold the angle and close out the round. It's OpTic to finally find that third.
Yeah, the op investment there is really big, and it's tough to Cloud9 lose that, because the early start looked really good for them. Reach stun out towards long by basically overwhelming with utility of their own. They nullify that A lobby play and are able to take down that Neon that was greeting to get that ultimate ability online, but crucially, Ye was just here with the op. We've talked a lot about this man's chamber performances, and it's looking good early on here. Still, for Cloud9, getting that plant down means they can gamble on reinvesting in towards a couple weapons here. If Leaf gets a kill or an orb, he can toss his rifle on over to one of his teammates, rock with that Blade Storm, but there we go. Ult out already. Victor, I like this from him, right? Because it's time-based. It's not ammo-based. You can afford to just spam on away as much as possible and provide that consistent pressure towards C. Good information early on here. They'll try and bolster this A site, excuse me. But Ye, he's in a bit of trouble. Not able to rendezvous away in time. Again, this utility overwhelming from Cloud9.
Yeah, and I think you could just tell that they weren't ready for that play. Leaf was 1 pip away from the knives. Why wouldn't you go fight for C long, right? Why would you not grab that free orb? Yeah. So they're not expecting that quick hit out towards A. Leaf leading the charge. And eventually finding that kill now does have the knives online. Meanwhile, Mitch taking the long way around. There was a detour, a little bit of traffic, but he finds his way out towards the A site. And with that OpTic, looks like they just want to back away from it. They want to hang on to what they've got. Unfortunately, no op, as that one had fallen courtesy of Ye going down. I guess I should say courtesy of Leaf. And now it's all about the hunt. Mitch is going to be the solo hunter here with 3 players just around the corner. This is a spooky spot to be in. Not even able to find one. Marv will take him down. So a bit of economic damage. Only 1 fall on both sides, but Cloud9 secured another round.
That they do. 2-3 now, working back on into this one, and Leaf manages to punish, take at least one of those guns on down. Not too much invested, as it was just the Blade Storm used in the end there. So Cloud9 feeling pretty good about this one. You brought up the point around that aggression towards C-Long. I thought that was well read. I was expecting them to do the exact same thing. Push Leaf for his orb, but the overdrive provides that consistent pressure. Still, they hear that. They realize that. And Cloud9 has an early punish here towards A main. It feels like unless there was a full investment of utility in towards this A lobby fight, Cloud9 are going to just abuse it every round. And here we see it again. Stun goes through, but again, they have this sustaining utility. Sure, that utility is invested. Sure, they're delayed for the side of Cloud9, but OpTic just sends back flashes of their own and basically cancels out, keeps it a stalemate. And that stalemate, they win out on the space. Neon will rotate on over quite quickly here, but Cloud9 for the moment, just pausing.
Yeah, just trying to slow it down. The last 5 rounds have been... They've been quick. They've been quick, to say the least. So we finally get a chance to breathe, to slow things down in that A site. Like you said, fortified now with Victor, who had since rotated on over, which is just an extra perk, right? If you're not picking the Neon specifically for the speed to be able to rotate like that, but it is nice just how the stim works now, right? That combat stim. I'm going to hold that thought. Leaf goes up and he catches Crashy sleeping on the angle, but there's no commitment just yet. They find that kill and the paranoia sets in once more. The rotations are coming through.
Yeah, and I love this smoke, right? It makes FNS worry. He's afraid that something's happening towards C-Link. Now they know, but it might be too late because Leaf just entries on in again. It's the flashes for aggression, and there was always alert out towards A. We've seen Vanity do this before, and he finds success off of it. Marv has traded back, but his position is revealed. He is so low on HP. It should be only a matter of time before someone finishes the job, and we'll find a third in the round. It's just Vanity to take down on towards that double swing to kind of call back to that play play a little bit more overall. It starts out with a default for Cloud9. Then what they do is that 4-strong hit out towards B. Their heavy utility comp allows it. But what they've done in a fair few of these rounds is they leave Vanity lurking towards A. And that position is really big because he can super easily paranoia towards the A link and continue that fight forward for Leaf if it becomes necessary. And in that round, it didn't even really come down to his paranoia. Instead, it was just his position to deny the flank, which is needed because Mitch's utility, it's not like a chamber. It's not global. You run out of space on it, and well, that lockdown does work well for them. The money, a little worse for wear on the camp of OpTic. They want to try and go for some of this aggression, but Vanity early punishes it.
I was wondering when we'd get Vanity up on that box, a comfortable position for the IGL on the Omen. Flash to try and get crashes out of dodge. Unfortunately, it doesn't work the way they were hoping. Aftershock used, but Leaf on the front foot once more. And this is a very scary Leaf. This guy has been, I mean, just a monster in group stages, in playoffs, whatever it may be. Leaf has been there for Cloud9, and he's doing it here nice and early, looking to secure the lead. Obviously not a whole lot to write home about as Marv, the only one, the weapon in hand. There goes the Sheriff to slide on in. Mitch, quick to answer, and Marv, not much more behind it. A near flawless for Cloud9, and they're going to secure themselves the lead.
Yeah, that they do. Another one of these punishes on the hit towards the A site. OpTic not able to get too much going as it was just the lesser weapons, finding a little bit of damage, that's fine, but they will be taking a fairly early tactical pause here. I don't hate this one because a couple of their rounds that could have swung their way pivotally. I'm thinking especially of that round where Victor popped his ult, was aggressing towards C long. That was a punish, and the other big punish that's been going on is this consistent winning of the fight over the space outside of A. Lobby has been taken pretty much every round for Cloud9, and again, it's that triple flash comp. They're only really investing 2 or 3 to claim that space. They have plenty left for the execute, and normally it's a Zeppa Sky Flash, so there's a recharge on that as well. And Leaf, it's also not like he's committing that dash early on. Back when Astra was the relevant agent for fighting for that space, we'd sometimes see teams just dash past it, just disrespect the gravity well. You don't really have to do that in the same way, so Leaf has kept up this util very late on in towards the round. But the side of OpTic, we'll have to see what this changeup is. I think there should be money for Ye to invest into an operator, which could be a big changeup. We saw that as a point of success earlier on in towards this game. And if you have an op, you can concede more early space. You can play a little bit more passive, lean more into the retakes, because if Ye gets one, he just teleports away with the rendezvous. All good.
Yeah, all good. The chamber brings to the table. We don't get the Ye Leaf Jet duel, but still going to be some names that we're paying attention to. And Ye, I think, historically has slow starts. I feel like recently Ye's been having a hard time getting that front foot out, and you're seeing it again here as Vanity picks up 2 huge kills, pushing forward, wants some more, and just around the corner, well, there's another 3 kills for the Cloud9 IGL, and he's going to go hunting for the rest. He'll gladly sacrifice himself. 3 kills for 1 while his team plants on the C site. And for FNS and Crashies, maybe the play is just to look to save once more. You see Crashies headed the opposite way, but he's running right into the welcome arms of Vanity. Wide shots. Backstab is here. Finesse will take him down, so damage mitigation. But both players noted, and it looks like Cloud9 want to hunt.
Yeah, they want this one. He's gun slipping away. Wood big for OpTic to hold in towards the next. And Crashies does well. Locks down for a couple of frags. Doesn't look like Cloud9 are going to want to commit any more resources in towards this fight. So overall, it's okay for OpTic to hold on to that. But let's talk about what Vanity got away with there. First of all, it's just a bit of an unfortunate timing for Ye. Getting past that Omen smoke, he didn't have time to get the gun up, and Vanity just won out in that reaction. Then he just charges straight on towards site off of his own utility, gets that second frag, and realizes at that point, man advantage by 2. There is no harm in continuing to charge and basically just being a human Sova drone. So much space garnered just off this one man, and that timing is just so rough for Ye. The paranoia as well, combined with the stun here, was perfect. I think that Vanity actually heard a footstep from Marv, and I'm pretty sure that's why that was triggered off of, and you can see it already. Cloud9 having fun with this one. Zeta always got that big smile on his face.
Yep, always got that big smile on his face. Also has that very large ultimate in way of Rolling Thunder available for the squad. So I don't think the slow hits are coming anytime soon. Just keep the speed on as we toss out dark covers out towards the C side. It's only Marv holding it down. Rendezvous would put Yay in the area, and Victor has since rotated over, but for now, the C site conceded, but only to Leaf. Look at Vanity. He's still hanging out. He's got the spike in hand. He has the From the Shadows ready, and he heads the opposite direction. Oh my goodness. Crashes is just out of range to hear the plant, Mimi.
That is so tough. So now they have this A site, and the Rolling Thunder was committed on C. Oh, this is such tough information. A faux pas, OpTic commit onto the wrong side, and look at Zeta. He's just holding onto the flank. He has Rolling Thunder available too, and will stick around. A thorn in the side. Vanity is in heaven. Every extremity, every forward angle is being fought for, and Vanity gets away with it too, buying even more time for this squad. What's the recourse for OpTic? They have to go now. They do have the Seekers to work with, and Vanity in a bit of trouble, but that smoke, it dropped away. It gave him some respite, and while the dogs fall from down below, so will Crashies. He's so low on HP, and Vanity is able to isolate the duel. The Seekers are great, but listen to the timer. Listen to the clock. It is chipped down so far, and no one has spotted Mitch. He still has this utility. He still has the Nano Swarm to delay, and the round, it's already over. A Red Bull clutch for Mitch in the 1 versus 2.
Dude, that play is me on Omen saying, guys, go see, I'm gonna do something crazy. And it just worked. The big brain play and the timing. It could have been squandered if Crashies was just in range to hear that plant, but he had just gotten too far deep into that spawn, and it works perfectly. And the players on the opposite side of the match, on the opposite side of the map, excuse me, being able to match the rotations perfectly of the defenders of OpTic and take them down en route towards that A site. Man, that is just insane and soul-crushing, no less. And now Cloud9, 3 rounds to lead.
I don't even know where to begin with that round. It is just so tough that the second that rotation comes through is the second that FNS invests the ult. I was about to praise OpTic because it feels like the strength of this comp, they've been trying to go for these early fights. I think against a setup like Cloud9, your value is in the retake. It's in playing the late round. Double flash, Victor can create so much space off his utility and just off being able to straight up sprint on in and combine that with the relay bolts. It feels like that benefits this team so much better, but again, when you're playing a Sovalist comp, your information is predicated off aggression. You need to invest that utility to fight, and unfortunately for them, they just over-invested it just a tad. In this eco round, it's already not looking great. OpTic has been punished on 3 fronts. C site is clear. They'll even commit these Sky Seekers just to make sure nothing's going wrong in this one.
Yeah, I love that the Seekers went and tagged the body of Marv. Just like, insult to injury, yeah, we got you, but the Seekers, they're still
It's
gonna...
a weird interaction. I don't think Seekers normally... I feel like they don't usually do that. That's a strange one. Leaf will punish in the end. I'm wondering if it was because the Seeker was paranoid? Because he did get hit by Vanity's near side off that paranoia, so... I don't know. Interesting one to maybe look back at. Crashies at least gets 1 on his way out of the round, but it's going to be 73 now. C9 pulling an impressive lead here on Haven.
Impressive, given kind of the start to this one, where we're a little surprised that the Neon worked as well as it did in the pistol round. You know, it's a little bit faster, a little bit chaotic. Cloud9 like to play that way, and OpTic best them. In the next couple of rounds, the force even goes away of OpTic, and you're starting to get scared. And then Cloud9 just find a way, like they do time and time again. And I'm wondering, I've been sitting looking at this for quite some time. When are we getting that orbital strike online for Marv?
It's been there for
seems
ages.
Like, yeah, I was thinking save it for the lockdown, but that didn't even happen when Mitch ulted a couple rounds ago. We didn't even see that orbital strike. And in this one, unfortunately, we don't get to see anything out of Crashies. He's taken down by the operator in the hands of Leaf, who now has the Blade Storm online. And there it is. Oh, put it up on the opposite side for Yay. Well, even the odds taking Zeta down in the B site seems to be the place that Cloud9 want to find respite. I guess respite might not be the right word. There's so much toss at him. Here comes that orbital strike. The spike gets planted, though, and the overdrive comes through, but Victor immediately gets shut down, and you're seeing the minor flaws are why it's so hard to just run and gun against the accuracy. That is Leaf. As Zeppa finds his way into the kill feed, Mitch will close out the round, and Cloud9 will find an 8.
Yeah, I don't think we really had a chance to talk about this Neon pick outside of her speed and her relay bolts, but I really don't like her ult at a high level. I don't think it is that good in pro play. Who would you have instead? A Jet, the Blade Storm is fantastic. Compared to this one, the the TTK is really high. Like, it takes a full second or two to be able to get a frag, and at this level, against a team like Cloud9, they are the majority of the time going to punish you. Even if you are running, even if you are moving, it feels like it's a lot tougher to get the value on out. And sure, if it's combined with the right utility, it can be great, but it's a lot tougher. It's not as round-changing as, say, a Blade Storm, at least from what I've seen thus far. This could be a good bait. Contact back and forth. Ye has reposted on this angle toward a force, but he's getting flashed away. Does he recommit to it? Absolutely. And I have no idea how that's a headshot, but Ye works in mysterious ways.
Ye works in mysterious ways. Give him an inch, he'll take a mile, and that's exactly what happened. Finally, we get that rolling thunder. This one, way of Cloud9. Lockdown also looking to force the players off the C site, and it seems like there's a bit of area that they can continue to play, but it's just not safe. Mitch will finally secure the kill on to Marv as Ye gets one back to the tour de force, and he's still trying to fight his way out. He's got 3 kills on the round, make it 4, and Leap tried to equalize, could not do it. OpTic fight back for the final round in the half, and we'll see if they keep the fight up after this short break.
Some high-octane Valorant to get us going on the day as Cloud9 blaze a trail to 8. But OpTic, they've got the high-speed comp, they got the Neon ready to roll, and it's their attacker side now queued up, Tanner.
Yep, curated perfectly, bringing us back in, making sure you hit all the talking points in the high speed, the high gear. I loved it. The blazing trail that Cloud9 has set. Unfortunately, that pace is going to be slowed a little bit, right? Because Cloud9 now on the defensive side of things. Well, I'm assuming it's going to be slow. We'll see how they do decide to curate this attacking side, as it seems to be just as quick, or their defending side.
Oh, wait a minute. I love this. They placed the forward turret. That was the whole goal of this early fight, to place that for contact to be able to swing off of later for Mitch. I don't know if I've seen a lot of Killjoys do that before, so interesting little setup there, and it's deep enough that they have to be fully committed by the time the Killjoy turret breaks contact, and based off the position, you could be all the way in a garage, and it'll still be activated.
With that noise out towards the A side, it forces the patented Valorant on Haven hit the C site, and the Frenzies, they're making noise. They're not finding too much just yet, but Ye is, however, a couple of kills. Way of Headhunter. Marv gonna hop into the feed, and there's the Frenzy starting to come online, and unfortunately, Mitch has neither a Frenzy, a Headhunter, a Ghost. Only gonna have the Classic, and it just won't be enough as OpTic secure yet another pistol round here on Haven. We'll see what Cloud9 respond with here in round 2.
Yeah, well, this is what's good about OpTic's comp. It's about pulling rotation and recommitting in towards the late round. They had the Brim Stim. They have a Neon Sprinting, who I believe is also buffed by the Brim Stim. You are so quick on these rotations, and even though defenders tend to have a slightly quicker timing on the rotates if they work their way through B, with that utility, you can beat out the clock. It was just a sole player. It was Vanity alone, and while his paranoia was good, it's just too much for one man to contend with. So, I like that out of OpTic, using their composition to good effect here, as Victor will get pretty deep into this one. Leaf unfortunately misses the shot. Could be in trouble here as the Neon just runs him down, but that's ridiculous. Somehow this Marshall always finds value. You just don't need to scope.
It's impressive to one-tap somebody when you're stunned with the Vandal, but to do it on a sliding Neon with the Marshall, Leaf is a madman. Now, unfortunately, that's not enough to win the round. There's still 4 alive on the side of OpTic, and they've got the better weaponry, no doubt. But it's a good start and a good way to slow things down once more. I also like that fault line, right? It's different than the one from A-Link just going into lobby, because we've seen that Victor can get past that. So they mix it up. They throw it out from A shorter, A sewers area, a little bit diagonal, and Victor was actually tagged up by it. Slowed down that push quite a bit. Had to find shelter in the cubby, and lots of noise out towards C this time, but it's the inverse of what we saw in the previous round. It's noise out towards C and back towards A, but the spike is not in hand for the two here.
Just like a double fake?
Yeah,
what are they trying to do with this one? Yeah, it is. They've baited towards A. The question is, did these two players who are still outside towards grass commit to it? Mitch is re-clearing C long. This could get really funky. Even with the Classic, how much value can he find? FNS is blind planting. Oh no, the Classic. Not enough to finish the job. Now 10 seconds left. Plenty of time for the defuse. And Mitch in a bit of trouble. He needs to get away. He needs to find the timing on this one, and he does. But just on the other side of that smoke, Marv picks up a dead.
Yeah, Zepp is able to trade out the kill there, but in the 2v2, the weaponry just might be too much. Both players of OpTic out towards long. Flash the information. Zepp to hop back onto the spike. 100 HP, but no shields. Now he's only got one more to worry about, and it's the low HP. Yeah, another tap onto the spike. With 15 rounds, they go around, and it's Zeppa to close it out. 3 kills on the round, and again, it's the C9 factor where there's a will, there's a way, and they find it here. The Red Bull clutch, but a thrifty on top of it all.
Yeah, I mean, just stacking on the impressive parts of that round, as I think the pivotal moment was Mitch, right? He got a little suspicious of this play. He's like, wait a minute, we've had sight for a good 5 seconds. We haven't even heard the spike get tapped. Something could be going on here. And he commits to flanking back towards C. Delays enough that that playthrough spawn can be effective, and then just a really, really good clutch in the 1 versus 2 to isolate those frags for Zeppa. You'll love to see all the C9 boys together at their boot camp. We're going to carry this one on through, as there will be a reinvestment for OpTic. However, it's a little bit slim. Spectre's light armor. It's another early fight towards this A lobby, and this time Victor actually got past it. It was the combat stim plus the sprint to get that deep so early on.
But for what? Unfortunately,
for the denial of that short control again, right? Because the thing is that they don't get any kills off it or anything, but Cloud9, we already saw that they like to try and get someone forward and like tuck someone in towards that close corner. They aren't able to this round because of that Neon, but in mid, things get a little wacky. Both sides whiffing their shots, but Ye out on top. He needs to get healed up here, and will, as the dash is forced out of Leaf.
It seems like that regrowth came at just the perfect time, able to keep Ye alive. He kind of healing through the damage that he was taking there, and good on Leaf to get out of dodge before he received too much damage. But now we finally get some of that value that Victor's hoping for, and there it is, up close and personal with the Spectre. Should be able to find himself an upgrade, and OpTic looking to grab themselves a free A site. A couple of sky smokes will stop the defense from pushing in for now, and Zeppa just gonna wait for the team. We'll see what the call is. 1 kill away from the Seekers. Has a Trailblazer to work with, but it looks like they just want to hang on to their weapons.
Yeah, they do. That's the right call here. Look how much money is left in the bank account. 650, 400, a grand. Probably not enough to reinvest in towards the next round if you do end up losing this one on through. So they make the safe play, but Victor, okay, almost dies to a turret. All good. He can run away and survives on through in towards the next. But yeah, I want to talk about how OpTic were able to switch that around, because you see the denial of that early sewers and short control means that Leaf has to push for a reclear in towards the mid round, and no one was with him. They were very starved of information. There was a man down, so you can't really commit your Sky or your Breach to help him out in that. He had to make the play alone, and unfortunately for him, loses the 1v1. That's the call for OpTic to re-hit this A site, and they do so pretty much flawlessly.
And good on OpTic to not lose really anything, actually, across the map, right? To allow Victor to stay in that position, hang on to that, and eventually allow that that play to come to fruition. Should Ye have lost that duel against Vanity, maybe things look a little different, but heads up kill onto the player atop the boxes out towards the B site. And this time, I'm assuming another high gear dash, followed up by the combat stim and a flash. All 5 stacked up for OpTic, looking to hit this A site quick, but they're going to be doing it into a pretty well-suited Cloud9 in way of Arsenal, and the turret this time actually going to be used out towards long. Quick for information, Marv just around the corner, cues up the sky smokes, and all 5 still here. Nobody lurking just yet for OpTic. See how quick they decide to hit this one, and what do they have to work with? No ults, just the util that they have in their hands, and just about a minute and 15 on the clock.
And just about. Cloud9 is going to re-exec out towards A. This is what having that chamber allows you, because you can lock down your flanks with very minimal investment. He's even in a position where he could TP back towards that extremity if he'd like to. I think he's sitting on top of a second rendezvous up atop that box. That's how he's got there to begin with. But besides all that, this one's going to be fast. The flash is raining and all ready for OpTic.
Yep, the fast lane out, the push on in. Zepla going to find the first, but Victor's there to trade it back, and Victor picking up 2. FNS squeezes in his way on through into the kill feed, and the numbers slowly starting to dwindle down for the side of Cloud9. They weren't ready to answer for the push, and maybe they weren't ready for 5 players to be storming their way onto the site. And now it's Leaf up in hand, high ground inside heaven, and Vanity just on the outside, but he's wary. It's not a site that can be retaken very easily. One more kill will find him. The knives. Has to worry about the player underneath, though. And this is a scary spot. FNS still holding short. There's 2 down below. Oh my god, the paranoia is perfect, but FNS does enough. He sits down Vanity, buys the attention of Leaf for Ye to find the kill, and 7 health is enough to find a 7th round.
That's very scary for OpTic, because if they commit to 2 different targets there's a dash available for Leaf. Winnable situation. But regardless, let's talk about the success points, and that's just this ridiculous layering of utility on the initial execute. Your Neon runs on in, doesn't even really have to shoot anyone, can just move around enough and combine with the flashes, pray that they survive, and get into a deep enough position that they're not going to get checked that early on. Teams still don't really seem used to playing against this Neon because very few teams play it. This is the only squad in NA to do so, but it's an eco round in this one. Leaf has Blade Storms already close corners. He ain't ready for this. I'm not sure if he'll even suspect it. He's just around, barrel spotted. Leaf should be able to finish this one, and he does. Even clears out a little more, gets away without even having to use the dash. That could prove big in towards this late round, because if that Blade Storm has to re-clear some space dry, he still has the get out of jail free card, and he wants more towards mid.
Full util here to take this fight. 1 knife. Gonna be tossed out. Doesn't find the kill, so he'll just back away, look to reset the player advantage. I don't think Ye brought a weapon into this round, so finding the kill, sure, onto the tour de force is nice. Unfortunately, that's not a weapon that works well in anybody else's hands. Oh, nice flash right on in to the fast lane. Gonna deter Victor for now as they back away the A site once more, the final destination here for OpTic Gaming. This time, though, Cloud9, they're ready for it. Sky smokes down, flashes on the opposite side. Seekers looking to clear. Leaf goes up top. He doesn't find anything, and he just gets nothing at all. Finally, he'll start to help his team out, but he's blinded up and taken down. As Zeta fights back for one more. The Stinger, always good for 1 in games like this, and Mitch now has to be good for 2. The Marshall in hand and util to play with. Plant goes down. It's FNS just on the other side. Marved out towards long. The close angle goes the way of the breach. And we're 1 round in striking distance here for OpTic.
1 round away. Looking good to be able to fight back through in towards this one. Despite taking a tough early loss, all their flash agents were still alive. So these executes are super, super strong. The Brim utility, I don't think that's something we've talked about a whole ton, but in towards these post plants, it's so good. 20 seconds on that smoke.
Yeah.
You practically have to disrespect it, or half that spike timer is just going to be gone, and there's 3 of those. If you do an A execute, 1 heaven, 1 towards the spawn side, you can reinvest a second in towards that late round. It's really tough to break, and, well, in this round, it's going to be fast out towards that A short control yet again. Leaf wants to duel. He's past the breach util, but does have to get out of dodge.
And Leaf trying his darndest to get something going for Cloud9, but OpTic, they just won't allow it. They sneak away there. Sure, Ye took some damage, but he's healed back up once more, thanks to that regrowth from Crashies. And Leaf just been quiet here on the defensive side of things. Hasn't been able to get that ball rolling. Whereas Marv, on the other hand, he's been having himself a pretty strong attack. Needs to be wary of the flash just around the corner, and he is going to back away. And they give up this A short position. All 5 in tow now for OpTic, looking to head the opposite way.
Still, there's Killjoy utility up. Out towards this site. This is an intentional play for Cloud9. They realize that A site has been the bigger issue for them. They've struggled in those retakes, so they're fine to concede this space. Even a well-timed smoke out of Vanity, that should delay. Do they respect it? There's a case to be made for just going through. You have the flashes to do so. That looks to be the plan. Reach flash queued up. Aftershock goes on in. They're just going to hit this one off the Rolling Thunder, but again, no one there to receive. Cloud9, an opportunity in the retake, and practically all their util is still there. Both Zeppa and Zeta have the flashes, have the stuns to work with to fight back through this one. The question now is, how does OpTic plot? Because there's a position for Victor to reflank Garage in the late round, as C9 already out.
And util queued up. You see the aftershock clear out the cubby. Shot up on top of the box will find damage onto Leaf, but nobody fallen just yet. Here comes the incendiary, though. It might be a second too late. Orbital strike on top of it, and the spike goes halfway. FNS the first to fall, but OpTic, they strike back for 2, and now Zeppa, the last one remaining, as he's stuck on the site, and he is pitched, and Marv make sure he gets nothing done as we get tied up 9-9 here on Haven, and Cloud9. Where's the timeout, baby? Where's the timeout? Slow things down. Let's stop the bleeding because they've given up a handful of rounds in a row now.
It'll be after this round, I'd imagine. They're on the eco for this one. I think C9 generally tends to be a team to call it after. But I love that play from Victor. The wide flank, that's what Neon allows. She's so fast that you can wrap all the way through the B site, not have to worry about shift walking through Garage because you can just wrap far enough, be far enough away that they physically cannot hear you. The flank goes big for 2. The Brim utility sets it up with the delay. And now, in this one, they might just want to hit this C site straight up. However, in mid, there has been aggression out of C9. 3 players pushing that direction. They could flank this in towards the retake. However, the weaponry not good whatsoever to do so.
It is not great. I think Vanity was hoping to play maybe a little tighter angles with that bucket in hand, but instead he's forced back towards that Garage area. Well, all 5 from Cloud9 actually forced into that area. Incendiary queued up. Toss backside. Leaf on the inside. And Veda gonna get things started. 2 huge kills with the Sheriff. Fortunately, Victor's there to trade it back. The Rolling Thunder, though, gonna find the stuns. And OpTic, they're starting to crumble. More flashes means more frags. And Ye from downtown will fall to the frenzy as Vanity gets the spike halfway. Gonna toss it on over to Mitch to have the lockdown online. It's a thrifty round for Cloud9.
That's why in that previous round, OpTic was playing their post plant hard from long. Because when you have that many flashes, sight is no longer safe. Cloud9 used no utility early in towards that round. They took mid dry. They had everything to work with in that fight back in, and OpTic got overwhelmed. Not enough time to establish in their post plant. Not enough clock ticked away to be able to rely on that Brim utility. And I mean, just this execution is beautiful. You have the breach flash going in towards main. You have the sky flash going on the right side of the cloudburst. You have that cloudburst separating, cutting the angles down and isolating those players. Everything looks so well rehearsed, and that could be the pivotal round. It was 4 in a row for OpTic without needing a timeout. C9 swing it back in their favor, and now that timeout has in fact been forced out, but for OpTic instead.
And I like this proactive timeout, right? You've only given up a couple of rounds on this side. One of them was, a thrifty clutch in round 14, and then another thrifty comes on through. OpTic, call that timeout. Let's ice the kicker a little bit, stop the bleeding. Let's not let them get that ball rolling. We slow down the hype from that round. We look to go back to it. And they've been playing a really good teeter-totter back-and-forth strategy, but we've seen the defense of Cloud9 start to develop to answer for that, right? Rounds prior, it was just the Killjoy setup out towards C and Garage, and Mitch just hanging out on that side of the map where everybody else leaning out towards A. And same type of thing out towards C in that last round where they have Vanity there, and sure, it's an eco round, but they still want to play as 5. They give up that site. They look to work back together, and Cloud9 doing a good job working proactively after OpTic Gaming are able to hit those sites and take them successfully. Now they need to work on holding them, but rifles in hand here for Cloud9, and look at the aggression down mid. Mimi, one already up into window, and Vanity just on the corner, finding the kill on the Crashies. This right here is the go button for OpTic. They have to push forward because they've got players at their heels, and fortunately the site is open. It'll be a 5v4 retake here unless OpTic can find something on the cross out towards Garage, but there's nothing there. Spike planted. Lockdown here. Aftershock queued up. Is that the land on? Yes, it is. The lockdown destroyed, so they don't have to worry about it. They try and fight forward, and Mitch gonna get caught with some util in hand. He'll eventually fall. Leaf there to trade, but we go back and forth. Red and blue are fighting these kills, but Vanity, he just likes to stick the spike, and he's not going half this time. He's going all the way.
He finishes it on off. Vanity holds his nerve, takes it down. His teammates do enough to buy the time, and OpTic, their hold there towards long, this time punished in such a big way. It's relying on that utility, and it's also relying on a little bit of luck to be able to spam someone off the plant, but that vulnerability showing. I think it was the right adaptation because they know how good that Cloud9 retake is if they're holding close on site. They saw on those Thrifty rounds how much they can get punished if they're holding close angles, but you kind of need both. You kind of need someone to maybe try and come through that flank again. That was their one success on a C post plant, but again, no time to think. OpTic is keeping this pace fast, but they could be walking in towards a stacked site. He has two players here, utility to play with, and that breach in towards the link.
Flash out, doesn't find too much. Instead, they look up, they see Vanity, but they can't answer to him. It's Mitch instead. The high-low works in favor of Cloud9 and OpTic. Gotta go back to the drawing board. No, they don't. They rotate out towards A-Long and maybe looking to hit this way. They've had that teeter-totter strategy. Unfortunately, this teeter-totter, it's broken. It's out of commission. The Seekers are going to reveal these positions.
And they've still lost that space in C-Long. Leaf is holding that close corner. The Seeker showing someone still in sewers means that Cloud9 are happy to continue this hold heavier towards the A side of the map. They have Killjoy utility if B is committed. They have their Sky in Garage to buy time, and they have that push up for Leaf. These three players are fine to play this position, and again, they're set up towards a retake. Fan advantage. Do not even give OpTic an opportunity to get a kill. They will contact out onto this site, but a well-timed molly will separate and force them to show intent. Spike is coming down here for the retake. It could look very, very potent unless Victor can maybe make a play. He looks like he wants to fight forward just close in on the smoke here. Deny Cloud9 before they can get deep.
Sky smokes down, Aftershock just from the outside. Opshot to land in the face of Vanity to even the odds. Now a 4v4 here in the retake with Cloud9 working against the clock. They're going to have to pull the trigger as Ye's giving up the angle out towards long. Mitch to push through the smoke. Leaf here as well, but they're all starting to get cut down. It's all up to Zeppa, and he's not going to do it. It's Ye for 3. It's OpTic to 10, and once more, one round away from tying us up again.
Yeah, that they do. One interesting kind of exchange between these two compositions is that Mitch's ult will practically never find value because of FNS's utility, and we'll talk of FNS. Big util for him in towards this round. He stalls that push in towards the spawn side, and the player fighting forward, I believe it was Victor, is able to cut it off. That means that the flankers have to expedite, and they have to expedite into the op of Ye. That's just not a duel that you're winning on most days of the week. Now the punishment has come on through. Pretty lesser buy here for Cloud9 to deal with the Blade Storm, but it's immediately taken down. I love that from Ye. He takes the forward fight, but there's so little risk to him because it's immediately just a rendezvous away. This should prompt OpTic to head something in towards B or C. B is their decision. They have the dog to clear. They'll soon realize that this space is completely free, and it looks like they might want to fight for link control. That's my question. Do they continue this push, or do they realize it could be an eco, respect that, and just hold back on the site, try and play range? There's always a danger either decision you make.
Is that the only weapon really to worry about from these longer angles? I say that, but we've already seen the Sheriffs really start to pop off, and Zeta has one for himself. Flash out to find the blind on this gun. Mitch, another one to follow, and okay, there's that rifle coming online. Zeppa, though, going to be sat down. Unfortunately, Mitch just couldn't trade. He's leaping around. The headhunter will finally grab the kill. It's 6 kills in the last 2 rounds for Ye. The impact that this player has had for his squad, especially on this attacking side, has been huge. Zeta tries to find something on the way out. The Bucky, not what it used to be, unfortunately, for Vanity, and we're all tied up at 11.
Why did that incendiary get committed? Because early on towards that play, Marv was holding the flank. He was playing off the trademarks to ensure no one was coming up behind. I think he then pops that incendiary about 20 seconds in towards that Spike's timer, and then just commits to the fight on the site with his team. Finally, a round where OpTic doesn't have to invest too much utility on the initial hit. They have enough remaining in towards that post plant to just delay C9, and I think that's the 2 out of 4 Thrifty rounds, they're finally able to win them and not let them slip on away. Cloud9 does take the tactical timeout. This round's going to be the pivotal one. Whoever wins match point here, both these economies still a little bit brittle, especially the case for C9. If they don't win this, they could be looking at a 13-11 loss. This is a very important one for them.
Very important, well-timed as we near the end of this game, although we're no strangers to overtimes. And when you're looking at, quite possibly, I think what can be assumed now to be Cloud9, the number 1, OpTic fighting in that number 2, number 3 range, especially with the fall of version 1, OpTic trying to reclaim their throne and find success once more. 3 ults online as we come out of the timeout for OpTic Gaming. It's a Rolling Thunder, the Overdrive, and the Tour de Force, but an up in hand. I'm not too sure if Yay maybe looking to pop that ult out just yet. Cloud9 don't have much to work with, but we do have Vanity with the trusty Judge. We do have rifles in hand, so no ults. Should be fine, but like you pointed out, Mimi, this is a very important round to pick up for Cloud9. And in way of economy, see, 800 credits, the most that anybody has on their squad.
It's a tough one. B-side, again, is the softest point in this defense for Cloud9. They don't even have information utility here. Instead are just reliant on Zeta holding in towards the link to shut down. They realize now the B-side has been taken. It's a Neon tapping on the spike, but no commitment off it. They were just trying to bait out a re-aggression from Cloud9. Now they will commit to this spike plant, and Cloud9 might let them go for it. They're dashing in already.
The Judge, unfortunately, didn't have the range, but Leaf going up top has the angles as Victor tries to leap away. Leaf won't allow it. He's finally answered, but 2 for 1 in favor of Cloud9 as the Trailblazer. Quickly taken down, a flash onto the inside as Crash. She tries to stand and fight inside the dark cover, but finally the Judge will start to get the value. And FNS and Yay, they've got to piece it together as Yay finds 3 again. It's Cloud9 to come out on top. 9 kills in the last 3 rounds for Yay. Unfortunately, just didn't have it in the tank this time around, and Cloud9 re-secure a lead.
The discipline from C9 to not instantly dump utility off the first spike plant. That was a change-up, right? OpTic are waiting. The whole point of that play early on, they realized, okay, they're conceding it. Cloud9 is playing a heavy retake. They probably have Zeta in link again. Bait out his util, see if we can punish someone early. I think they even had someone in close playing towards Bunny that could have been anti-flash. Swing the second those flashes come on through, but they wait. Once the spike is finally committed, that's when C9 make the go call. And it's a big cloud burst from Leaf to, again, split that site in half. Ye was playing the long angle. That was no longer an option when it was both a Vanity smoke and a cloud burst to work with. But OpTic returning to the pace. It's a C-split in this one.
Vanity forced away. Overdrive now online, but nobody here to receive on the site. Cloud9, they've conceded. They give it up, no harm, no foul. And, oh, an operator found. And a kill as well. Vanity falls. Yay out on top. Cloud9 down 1 as Marv will look to get that spike planted. Seekers out to reveal positions, and look at the health damage taken. Leaf and Zeppa are so low here in the retake. And FNS, look at this position. Who checks this box? If anybody. And speaking of checking boxes, Yay. Checking the boxes for kills. Finds a second on the round as FNS will close out the kill onto Mitch. And once more the lockdown. It's absolutely 0 value. A 2v4 with low HP. And now no HP for Cloud9. We're headed overtime.
OpTic take us there. And it's his FNS utility. Killjoy comps, I think, pretty soon are going to start to look more and more like a thing of the past on this map. Because everyone is starting to play Breach. And Breach is the most direct possible counter. You have no recourse. 1 C ability. They cost, what, 150 credits, and your whole ultimate is gone. But in overtime, it's a reset for both these squads. It's again OpTic out towards the defense, and again I'm looking towards how are they playing this A lobby control? Because you have that breach in towards link. You're looking to take that contact again, or do they play a little bit more passive? Because they have the tools to do that, right? Ye has invested in towards the operator in this round. He's solo anchoring towards C, and his util is split between Garage and the B site. That means that OpTic can play a lot more passive. They can commit in towards these retakes, especially on the C site, if Ye gets something early. But it seems like they might want to change that setup, considering their options in this one is... This could really be anyone's game to come on through. Cloud9 especially, they were looking good in towards these early rounds. Not quite the same success that Victor had in breaking the timings, but still, they were winning a lot of these fights towards the A side of the map early, and it gave them a lot of options in towards the mid-round. OpTic was struggling with that. If Ye gets punished in this one, things could get weird, but he's looking to push down C long. Maybe try and find himself in the A cubby, or excuse me, the C cubby yet again. His orb has been recovered. They're putting priority on those Seekers.
Looking to find the read onto how Cloud9 are playing this one, and it's quick out towards the B site. Vanity a little slower to get onto the site as Marv just on the inside of the dark cover. Could play the linchpin here. No incendiary to stop the plan. An aftershock to try and find the kill, but instead it's Vanity popped in the back of the head as he tries to sneak away. Now Leaf on the angle, able to spot the weapon and find the wallbang. So Marv will fall, but the back and forth ensues as Victor scoops up one for himself. Zeppa is there to answer, and here comes the rest of the cavalry as Zeta. He's across the map.
No aftershock.
And he's got nothing here to stop him, to get him off this spike. Fortunately, it's just a tap, so he still has time. Now he fights his way forward. He finds a kill onto Crashies. He looks the wrong way, and FNS will punish as OpTic take the lead in overtime.
Yeah, that flank could have been so good, but it's planted for the other side. He has no stun, no aftershock. None of the abilities that could have delayed, could have denied in any way on towards that spike, so OpTic win it. In towards the retake. C9, they've realized that it's not even really an option to fight for this link control. Instead, you just have to anchor the best you can in the back site. And whoever's playing Gong position is the linchpin. And early that Gong player died. There was attempts to swing for the trade for C9, but they just lost out in those duels. Again, it's super impressive and, well, oppressive utility out of FNS on these works back in. 31 kills now racked up for Ye. Everyone performing on the OpTic Gaming side as Cloud9 have another go at the defense. Looks like they're going to try and play for this orb out towards A, at least get that up for their sky, and get Leaf into an aggro position, A lobby. But Ye's holding for it, and Ye has the punish.
And they just know. They know that Leaf is going to try to be that player. They're trying to create some space. Leaf wants to get out and ahead, but OpTic refused to allow it, whether it be nobody there or everybody there. And the stun is perfect, but Victor again is answered as Ye looks to clear things out. He pushes backside, finds a kill onto Zeta, but Zeppa once more won't go down without a fight. He finally falls, and Mitch now has all the weight on his shoulders. A sky smoke just in front. FNS to close us out, and it's OpTic to scoop up map number 1.
14-12, that's the way they success with it. I do have concerns about the solo Brimstone, but this one, either way, just going to be bound to be interesting. Is this the trap card, or is this a mistake for Cloud9? We're about to find out.
We get to see if OpTic Gaming gets sent to the Shadow Realm, or, well, just map 3, or else they can continue their trek on this reclaim to fame, looking for that number 1 spot in North America. And there's that wall coming out. So Bren talked about what the Viper kind of brings, and tossing out that Viper wall and always creating that paranoia of they could head this way, they could not. And I like the Sage here in a situation like this, where this is immediately just cutting off one of those ideas. This is immediately getting rid of that one. Now they do know that they're here, so the Sentinel doing Sentinel things, getting information. What do they decide to do off the back
Here's
end?
The thing, right? Look over towards the north side of the map. There's a trip. When that's broken, they'll have to at least send one player back to investigate, or else they risk being pinched in this one.
Well, it looks like that one player going back is actually Vanity. So they want to stay and fight for this A main control. The rest of the team, meanwhile, now going to look to fight backwards. Victor taken down across the ropes. The rest of OpTic will go, and everybody wants to play this drop position. Yeah. It's a player down, and Victor falling. The spike will plant. The 5v4 no less as Ye comes around the corner. Let's see if he starts hot like he did in the last one. Unfortunately, he's immediately answered, taken down by Leaf. And only 3 remain here for the attack to try and play defense as they defend the spike. The shorty comes around the corner, but it's not going to be enough. And the kill feed is flooded red, and maybe even more so as Marv, the last one standing. But they're both so low. It's 3 on the round for the Astra, and it's OpTic for another pistol.
Flood of red, and it's a green wall to come out on top. Pistol round picked up there for OpTic, and a big part of that was their re-aggression back towards the spawn side. Sure, they lost Ye in a bit of over-aggression, but that bought them that space. That bought them the time to position players past that smoke in the spawn side, isolate that duel, and then be able to reassess towards the players that were late over towards drop. Really well controlled in the mid-round, and that's off of what I thought was impressive from Cloud9. They kept space in towards A main. Yeah. I thought that was going to be an issue. I was afraid they were going to have to concede, but no, they feel comfortable in holding their ground there. That very well could have been a C9 round if not for the massive performance from Marv there, especially late in towards the 1v1. No force buy this time out of Cloud9. It said they'll just stick down with the frenzies, few classics to work with, but you never see the headhunter coming.
Wow.
Leaf starts things strong. Now where does this call for the re-aggression? Because the thing is, drop is set up as a bit of a trap here. A player already in close. Is Zeppa going to buy a peek? No, doesn't matter either way. Mitch is cleared on through, so man advantage now even on out as Zeppa looks to make his play, take his opportunity, but falls as the orb should eventually be grabbed on through, and instead it will be given on over to Marv. Keeps him one off of that Astra wall. However, it's not an A site hit. Instead, they're heading back towards this B site. The tripwires, or excuse me, those trademarks instead are down, so it could have been a risk of a flank. They're worried about that. They want to re-clear the space instead.
They'll fight for it. Leaf has since picked up a weapon, though. Finding that kill onto Ye means there's a Spectre in hand. Unfortunately, the health just isn't really a whole lot to write home about, and that's done. From Zeta just missed the players pushing up towards Dish. Things swing back in favor of OpTic. In doing so, now the spike being planted. And Cloud9, I mean, there's really no other option, right? Just send yourself at this one. Look to do some extra damage. See if you can take away some of these weapons and maybe force a reinvestment going into the bonus. Well, it's going to be the classic first up to the plate. Nebula Smoke to keep Leaf at bay. He's just going to hop on out. He's low HP. Well, now he's no HP. Leaf has fallen. And Vanity and Zeta, what can you do with the pistols? Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like a whole lot.
No, Zeta's already been spotted. He should get taken down here in due time. FNS, one away from his ult. Marv as well. Okay, next round here, it's going to be a bonus for OpTic. I doubt they reinvest. Yeah, we'll probably play the Headhunter in towards this one. I imagine they're going to be fighting for orb control two sides of the map here. Take an orb for Marv, take an orb for FNS. You can then try and, if you get an early kill, execute that. Rolling Thunder plus Cosmic Divide is a really potent setup. Ooh, but look, actually on the other side, Vanity has that orbital strike as well, which if it's an execute like that, they can feel more comfortable to play retake after that ultimate.
And they also want to fight for one of these immediate orbs, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't quite seem like the right orb. The A main orb is free for the taking on the opposite side. They do push aggressively into tree, though, and Marv just on the other side to retrieve. It's a closer angle here, and the Spectre out on top. Zeppa falls. Leaf gonna find a kill across the map. Zeta will be there to trade one back. Rolling Thunder queued up, but with all that commotion, doesn't seem like OpTic want to invest it just yet. A flash out of A main. The wall taken care of, and maybe options now to weigh on the minds of OpTic as the Headhunter just over the top. It's Ye. That is headhunted instead. Here comes the Rolling Thunder from Sands. Leaf just can't stand for long enough, but guess who was unaffected? Mitch and Zeta both, as 3 survive. Cloud9 put one on the board.
That they do. Pull things on through here, so Cloud9 convert on towards that one. It was only really one ult committed out of FNS. It wasn't that whole play to be put into fruition. Still, that was just the bonus round. So getting any damage there, forcing these reinvestments is going to be good. That economy for C9 on a bit of a ledge here. But Leaf does have the tour de force to work with, and he's actually going to be soloing over towards B. This is, we see a lot of these north side of the map pinches, but normally they come from arcade. This one instead is a heavy play out towards Dish. I think it's a Brim stim early, and then they just try and fight that space. But just on the other side, towards the south side, A main has been lost. So now this forces a re-aggression, a re-clear of that space. Cloud9 starts to get a little bit nervous, but they still keep players up here. Oh, no, that boombot. It might have just missed Ye. No, it spots him. He's in trouble, but Zeppa late on the swing, so now this is a 1v1, and Ye, sure, he's wounded, but the bounce back, that micro is impeccable to isolate the 1v1, bring this back to a 4v4, but I talked about the Astral. It goes up now, but not before Leaf gets ahead of it, finds a fight to regain advantage to Cloud9.
And I think he still has a rendezvous in hand. I was thinking that he might put it down to try and get atop the box. It will be answered for, though. Taken down, so no teleport available. FNS cooking inside the incendiary. Will walk his way on out of that and eventually fall. That's the spike down. And OpTic, they've got full rifles. Unfortunately, they don't have a full team here to do it in a 2v4. Marv just around the corner. The backstab is here. Vanity, it slips away for just a second. And Victor battles back huge. 3 kills on the round. And now our head-to-head comes to fruition. And it's Zeppa out on top.
Dude, Zeppa's blast packs are so good. 2 kills in that round. Just off of them. You can completely break crosshair placement, force a little bit of movement to make the guns inaccurate. If he doesn't get those 2 kills, round is not won whatsoever for Cloud9. That's great work out of him as an individual. I love that this team can let Leaf be the hero on the jet, but also, when the map's necessitated, Zeppa steps up on that raise and, gives space for his teammate in Leaf to be able to find some impact on towards the chamber. The desk early on was talking about that Cloud9 not really a team to play that agent. They pull it out here on Fracture, and it's looking good early on.
The compositions of Cloud9 do seemingly continue to evolve. It was a desk a few days ago saying, you know, every few maps, they're usually switching up the comp that they're playing.
Yeah.
Always keeping the opposition guessing, as the Poison Cloud this time will be enough. Cut off the vision here for Zeppa. So Yay on the other side, and the Headhunter. That lands for naught, as Leaf takes a bit of chip damage. All quiet on the western front thus far, but look at the tower control. Victor already up top. Leaf trying to answer for it. Crashes on the swing, doesn't find too much. Instead, tries to sneak his way out, and Zeta won't allow it. Victor now proper on the site. Showstopper available. A boombot there as well. Oh my goodness, here we go. What they've been able to muster up is starting to work. A Sheriff kill, a Spectre kill, an upgrade to Marv. And Leaf feels his position, shooting at the boombot that may not have noted him. A couple of kills swing back in favor of Cloud9, and they may have reeled their way back into this round. Don't want to give up the Thrifty just yet as the fault line queued up. 3 alive on the side of the defense.
Showstopper for Victor, though. He can buy time. As long as this clock ticks on down, Victor can win this, even if it's a 1 versus 2.
And there's that Showstopper. Now cuts it down to a 1v1, but he gives up too much to Leaf. You give him an inch, he'll take a mile, as Leaf starting to come online here on the defense, and we'll put Cloud9 in the lead.
Oh, there's a world where he wins that. Honestly, Showstopper, he was forced to use it early because they were crossing, and it was just the frenzy, but I mean, even if it's just FNS staying alive on the other side of the map, that could have been a very different round. Still, good job to C9, and I say C9, but very specifically to Zeppa and Leaf for keeping that one under wraps. This double entry duo again up to the plate in this one. Just a little bit missed out on the jump peak there to let this round fall the other way. However, like we mentioned, that was eco. Reinvestment is back up for both of these squads. Leaf did have to buy on over for a teammate, so no operator to come out on early. That's a good thing for OpTic, as we already saw the power that this man holds when he's wielding that tour de force, and sure to be the same with the proper operator in hand. Looking to be a split towards B, or at least taking that presence early for the side of OpTic. That would make a bit of sense. They're close to 2 of their big ults here in way of both Crashies and FNX, respectively.
And we get a chance to breathe as the last couple of maps, this one starting, and all of Haven really has been pretty scrappy. Pretty scrappy, as it sounds like one of our players got a bit of packet loss, so we're going to try and make sure that things are all good.
When is meditation going to become just like something we can, like, can we have like a little group meditation on the broadcast for these games? Like, sometimes you just need a second to breathe, to let it all out. But yeah, in this one, I think I want to kind of revisit that point around the chamber for Leaf. We have not seen a whole ton of it from Cloud9, but I think it gives them a lot of options. I mean, just on the other side of the server, OpTic has been the team that I have kind of crowned as the best implementation of chamber. For Yay, it gives so much space for Victor to thrive. It lets Yay just be that op or just be the backup, and the global effect that his utility has on the map is really good, because unlike a traditional Sentinel, you don't really have to hard commit to that lurk to be able to lock things on down when you're playing that chamber. Instead, you can be practically anywhere, because it is that global effect out of those trademarks. It does seem like the internet issues are shored on up. So we'll head back into the action here. As again, OpTic look to fight for that orb control outside of B on 2 fronts. However, Leaf is here. He has a rendezvous to get away.
Tour de force just around the corner. Yay might not have the low angle held here. Crashies re-equipping his weapon. Rendezvous back into the spawn. And while things reset on the side of Cloud9, meanwhile, OpTic, they still want to take this B site. They've assumed their position in Arcade. This one uncontested as they creep up into tower now, but only 4 players standing on the top side of the map. Paint shells to clear out Canteen. Leaf on the inside of the nebula, gonna make sure that nobody pushes through this site for free. And Vanity taken down early here in the site take, and that spike's gonna get planted. So the vision denial was good enough for OpTic to scoop their way onto the site. Another smoke to come on down, and Marv just on the inside, but he's stunned up. It's Victor there to make sure. Oh my goodness, over the top goes Zeppa, and he finds 2, and Yay takes a headshot on the way out. If it was a Vandal, he'd be dead, but it was a Phantom, so he survives with 10 HP. But Cloud9 have battled their way back into this round, and that spike, it goes halfway. The Aftershock to force him off the rolling thunder as well. And how do they answer for this? It's Yay in your face. It's El Diablo creating the chaos. And it's OpTic to tie us up.
Dude, yay. Sometimes you gotta get those early whiffs on out. Loses the opportunity on a few, but managed to double it back in towards the end. FNS earning his ultimate in that round is absolutely massive. Without that, there's a good chance this spike just gets stuck, and Mitch is able to close things on through. The aftershock coming through as well for good effect. The stun to allow Ye to find so much success in towards these final two duels. Another scrappy round there, and, well, to point out, a round where Cloud9 had the opening pick. It was Vanity who got caught off guard. I'm not sure if it was the timing on a smoke, or the smoke dropped when he died, but either way, it's a tough turn for sure for Cloud9, as they will be on this lesser buy. They want to fight aggressively for A main, but Victor immediate on the punish. Sure, Zeppa can line up too, but wait a minute, they're not clearing Leaf! You have to clear Leaf! But he runs out of ammunition! It gets so awkward! But out of nowhere, Leaf pulls it out! The classic for the thrifty round to Cloud9.
What is it about Fracture that just manifests the strangest plays?
Dude.
Finesse?
Dude.
Semi-Cordis. The Headhunters, they just are getting wild. It seems we've got a mid-game Headhunter nerf for both of the Chamber players. And what's going on? Just the other day, we saw B-Dog kill 5 with the classic through smoke. Now we get it right back. It gets awkward. And Fracture always finds a way to deliver. And off the back end of that, OpTic realizing, all right, guys, we're losing it a little bit. We got to reel this back in, making sure that we're crossing our T's, dotting our I's. Because had they done that in that round, it would not have gone Cloud9's way.
You know, maybe I don't have the most experience in reading lips, but I'm pretty sure that something to the effect that Vanity was getting at was, what the hell are they doing? Because, yeah, what were they doing? You don't clear that corner. It's such a util-heavy comp. They kill 2. They think it's over. Get a little sloppy. Don't clear the corners. Those little mistakes will absolutely be punished by a team like C9. I do love, though, that they immediately take the tack. They're not letting this one slip away from them. They realize their mistakes, but the biggest mistake might come in the repercussions to the economy, because it is a pretty low buy here. They're going to elect to the Force, can muster 3 rifles on into it, but if they lose this one, their loss bonus will only be built up to 2 rounds in a row, and they'll be in a pretty tough spot. However, if they can get onto a site, Crashies has that pit that he earned up 2 rounds ago. Well, this is going to be fast, though. Really raise aggression.
And they want to make sure that this orb does not go the way of OpTic, right? They have 2 ults. They're so close to him. Showstopper and Cosmic Divide just around the corner, and this is arguably one of the easier orbs to fight for, but it doesn't matter. They don't need to grab those orbs for the ults. They'll just find the kills. And he plants his feet. He finds 2 in response. With Cloud9 still a player down at the end of the day. The Massacre in B3. It's OpTic out on top. The Op, unfortunately, can't get too much done, and there's the win condition for OpTic. Get Crashies onto the site and allow for the pit to go down, but it immediately falls. Yay, unaware of Leaf's positions, and the Hey will get that chamber back up as the Headhunter. Wasn't enough to close it out. Vanity will be, and Cloud9 do it again.
Cloud9, another one of these scrappy rounds that they win on out of. That aggression almost got really tough, and it did, right? Because the Rays bonked his head on the top of that geometry, so it wasn't as far forward as they wanted to be. That forced They to kind of be the first man fighting. They overextended just a bit, got punished for it, but then Leaf just makes this bonkers play. I don't know how he gets away with that. I also don't know how Ye almost turns and kills him. Chaos on all fronts in this game, but you're talking about a punishment. We thought it would be going the way of OpTic, and, well, it's come on through. Lesser weapons in this round, that force by finding relatively little impact, and I actually like that from Crashies. So many players are falling victim to this north side crunch on the bridge. He doesn't. Holds away, knows it's a possibility, so doesn't die to it. And now they just reaggress once that space is cleared. I really like this from OpTic for an eco round. However, it's the Sage. It's a wall. Not many teams are playing this, but you really can get a lot of value on this one. OpTic either have to make noise and be forced to break this one. Zeppa will hear that, and yeah, that's the decision. He knows he's ready. There is a headshot angle over top, which could get a little bit weird, and, well, it does with that headshot connecting. However, it was over towards the other side of the map. That was on A. That was a lurk that goes on down. So now we're reset into a 4 versus 4, and the resurrection annuls all wrongs.
And Zeppa taking damage. I mean, he's not safe. The Sheriff's starting to piece together some kills here for OpTic. Found one at the A site. Get another one, and with the low HP, Zeppa's still here to fight. Oh, gonna get its way on into the kill feed as the Rolling Thunder comes on through, and OpTic, they can't scrape together a thrifty round win, so they'll find themselves 3 rounds to deficit.
Yeah. Now, 3 rounds in a row that they're going to be losing out on. That was eco, so it's fun. I did like the play, the aggression in towards spawn in the late round, even trying to punish on towards that wall, because that bought a rotation, that pulled someone over. I think it was intentional to start breaking the wall so you could try and get a lurk out towards that. Unfortunately, the timing just wasn't really right, so it was 1 for 1, and they don't really get anything more. Out of that round, Rifles will come back on in, and the ult economy, excellent. I talk a lot about it, but it's because it's so crucial on this map. That breach ult, a complete game changer in the confined spaces of Fracture, and it looks like they might want to go for it. Towards B, it's going to be FNS on one side. I'm wondering if this is going to be the ult from underneath. No, he looks to group up with his team, as plenty of space has been bought here early on, but minimal extremity control, and you see that in A lobby. There's already been a push. There's a trademark on the other side, so it's a 4-stack here for Cloud9. They know what's up.
And that they do, and they've been conceding tower control just about the entire game. This time they have somebody to fight for it. Oh, and the showstopper, it gets a little weird. Victor doesn't quite land the first blast back. Now he has to try and bunny hop his way on through, but it gets silenced by Zeppa as Yay gets one in response. They're traded right back, and now the kill feed floods blue as Vanity picks up 3, and Cloud9 continue this reign of terror. And the problem with it all, Mimi, right, is OpTic took an early timeout when Cloud9 get the weird win, and then the wins don't stop there for Cloud9.
No, and well, it might have been the green wall to get going early in this game, but in this round, it was the blue wall, the Sage wall, blocking off towards main that provided so much information. They never realized that that Sage wall went on down, which meant that Cloud9, by having that up, they had info towards A, they had a Sage wall on one front. There's only one lane you can be coming from, so everyone focuses on it, and they shut down completely. Evan just too late to the party. The wall was still up. He's isolated. He dies for it. Oh, against Pistol. Leaf will win those.
That he will. Now, Yay maybe gonna try his hand at the headhunter, and he's gonna be hunted himself, taken down. Nice shot. The body is all Leaf needs. There's 1 kill found on the opposite side. Mitch to go down, and once more, tower control conceded. Over to OpTic. And a weapon in Victor's hands is a scary place to be in. Okay, orbital strike forces the plant to come off for just a second. They look to go back to it. Victor's 13 HP just on the other side.
Oh, look, it's glitched some way. He cannot get too close to it whatsoever, despite it not displaying graphically. That's a weird interaction, but Vanity doesn't care about that whatsoever. He pushes. The Molly helps his zone for him, so he can make that heroic play off, I believe, a flash from Zeta. Marv's alone in this one. He does have his wall down, so a fight isolated, but the spike not within his possession. The wall now falling, shots whiffing, and it's just slow coming through. Leaf converts off of it. C9 take 8, and now what? That's been, I want to say, 5-6 rounds in a row. It has been a crazy amount of momentum for Cloud9.
Heaps of it, but OpTic have been here before. They did this on Haven, right? 8-3, win the last round in the half. Swap sides, make it look good. Obviously, they were starting on the defense previously, moving to the attack. Hopefully, they've got a bit more for us as they swap over towards the defensive end. And in way of getting more, they'd obviously like to have an 8-4 half if possible. Look at the aggression from Cloud9, though. It's on the opposite side. They concede the orb out towards B tree. They want to fight for Arcade, and with that crashes, he's just getting the heck out of there. Wants to get out of dodge. Link up 5 strong towards his free side. Push onto the site. Victor immediately answered, but he gets one with the paint shells. So perfectly timed paint shells there. Find his own trade kill. Gets his own rebound as Vanity fights for tower once more. The molly goes down, and Marv forced to push on through it. So much damage chipped away, but the players are starting to fall on the side of Cloud9, and Leaf has to do it here. In a 1v2. The Vandal, the tour de force, it doesn't quite have the angle, and unfortunately for OpTic, they don't quite have that spike.
I think they were waiting for the star to charge back up. They do that, smoke one angle. Now they have to know that the only way Leaf can fight this is from the position he's in. They're taking their time in this one. Are making a play. I mean, there's a risk to this. If the timing is right on the turnaround, it's an isolated 1v1, but I don't think Leaf will be prepared. He's not looking the right direction. Marv should have this one locked down, and he backs straight into the Astra. Same situation as the first game. Can OpTic find the same outcome? We'll have to see just after the break. Well, we return to the action in this one as Cloud9 find themselves at a lead of 4 rounds, but a pistol win could still very easily swing things back the direction of OpTic. They did it in map number 1, Tanner.
And they have to do it here. The Leaf and Ye are actual complete opposites. Where Leaf starts so hot, Ye usually starts a little bit slower. That's what we saw in Haven. And then it's the inverse as we swap sides and go into that second half. So we'll see if that comes to fruition, because right now, Ye is getting chamber dipped. Maybe not in the direct head-to-head, but the numbers that Leaf's been able to put up. Cloud9 keeping it quick, keeping it scrappy. They stomp their way out towards the A site. They split into sands, and okay, utility kills coming on through. Victor does it again with the paint shells, and Mitch tries to get one as they scoot away. Unsuccessful in doing so, but the A site, it's been given up. Unfortunately, the spike needs to be retrieved, and Zeppa will do so, but a 3v4 situation. Health is low, the wall is up, so there's only one direction to come from, unless Marv can start to get those Chevrolegs moving.
We'll have to see if he can in this one. Crash, he's on the jump. He does spot out Leaf, but he has a rendezvous. Can teleport away, and Mitch still has this weird kind of one-way wall to fight forward. OpTic lacking in the utility, but they do have the flash to work with, and Ye somehow gets one off the drop down.
Yeah, the headhunter is just jet knives in sheriff form. Some way, somehow, Ye gets that kill. Leaf and Zeppa, though, they're not done fighting. They're going to keep that fight pushing forward, and for OpTic, they've got to make a move here. They're running out of time. Now running out of players as Zeppa plays ring around the Rosie to find 3 on the pistol and to secure it for Cloud9.
Yeah, 9-4 now. A big pistol round to be picked up towards that camp of Cloud9. They have a lot of delay utility, and I think we're seeing the Sage Wall at its value, specifically in towards that round, in that it completely shut down the play towards drop. Sure, Ye was able to find some miraculous headshot, have a little Ye play of his own, but it still didn't really have too much impact in towards the late round because there was enough time already bought off the clock and makes that clutch a very winnable one for Zeppa in towards the 1 versus 1. No force buy for OpTic, no real reason to do so. So Cloud9 like to find their road to 10.
It's an uncontested road as they creep their way up to the B site. The crunch from Arcade and Drop, unfortunately, doesn't find a whole lot. Leaf was the one to get out of dodge. Okay, FNS finds one with the classic weapon to be retrieved. Unfortunately, it's just a bit too far out of reach as the paint shells continue to find value for both of the teams. And the blast packs are just so darn good. Zeppa wants the showstopper. He's farming it up. Just give it to him as Ye steals one back. There's a bit of economic damage. The bonus gonna be hurting just a bit. He's got himself a stinger, but 3 kills and a spike defuse while he's running out of time seems like a tall ask.
Yeah, bridge too far in this one. Ye can try and deal a little bit more damage. The timing not right for it, so Mitch takes that one on through. 3 players left alive on the Cloud9 side. I like the change up in the mid round there. They felt the punish coming towards the north side of the map, and they get out of dodge. Only had 1 player in towards that direction. It was Leaf just working his way off of his trademarks. He realizes, hey, this play is coming to fruition. We're ready for it. So changes on up and rotates with his team. Finds that B site practically for free. OpTic do take a timeout early here.
That they do, chasing 6 rounds. And they really have to show us something here in this rifle round. We'll see if Cloud9 decide to reinvest, losing 2 members and having 6 rounds to play with. It seems like a pretty Cloud9 thing to do unless Leaf can drop something on over and just kind of rock that headhunter for the most part. And I said that Leaf's got to pick it up or stay hot on this side, and Ye's got to pick it up. And I mean, it's been Zeppa, really, who's been doing a whole lot for his squad in the last couple of rounds. Sure, the pistol round, obviously the big one. The anti-eco is kind of like, okay. Like, you know, you're just farming alt orbs at that point. Which brings me to the next idea of when you're 1 alt pip away, where do you look to go, right? OpTic being 1 pip away, they were never fighting for that tree orb. Instead, they were looking to get it across the map, or they understood that Cloud9 was going to try and stop them from getting that. So I wonder if OpTic's defense is going to be looking to do that same thing, right? Some pressure out towards that B orb. It's one of the easier ones to pick up in way of just having to take that first fight on a defender who is so far forward pushing down those stairs from that B site. But it does look like a whole lot of nothing, actually. They might just concede this one out towards drop.
Another one of these fast plays off the Brimstone utility. Zeppa charges on 4. Dish control is already here. Yeah, they're instead just looking went towards his site early. They're just going for it maybe here. At least wanted to provide that. They pulled full rotation on over. No one is in a position to lurk, so instead, noise cut. Now, here comes the quick re-exact. That utility combo is great, but FNS too slippery for it. Victor not as lucky as he falls on down, but Crashies was never cleared in main. And Ye as well finds a frag. Mitch needs to win this. The 1v1 could be massive, but it actually doesn't fall to him. Instead, Vanity on the backstab, and now the Sage wall up. Time being bought, space being gained, and a 3v2 to work around here in the post plant.
And the Sage wall is just too much. Finesse, he was able to take down one portion of it. Unfortunately, it still blocked a main. Enough for Mitch to stay safe. And their player down. They have to find something right off the rip here. And it's, you know, big shoes to fill here for Finesse. He's got two right in front of him. Marv out on the swing and the running gun through the box. Vanity will find a third. And Mitch just on the other side. Ooh, might just run down FNS. Doesn't want to allow him to save the weapon here. And the economy's going to be hurting should he die. No matter what, but it does seem that he's made the great escape. We'll toss out a flash backwards and hope to survive for the rest of this round.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's going to be really in a position to punish, so Finesse does keep a gun on through, but Cloud9 clearly coming out as the victor of that round. It was just a bonus going in, relatively little on the reinvestment, and then that quick fight towards Dish. OpTic surprisingly don't really put anything into it. I don't think they even had a trademark there. Instead, they were just playing deep on towards the site, which I do kind of take issue with against a composition like this for Cloud9, especially in those bonus rounds that can be so explosive with the lesser weapons. We already saw in map number 1 how overwhelming that C9 util can be on the retake, and the same is shown here, except you have the addition of Zeppa's Raze util. So, using some things to switch on up, but still a little bit of money to work with. OpTic is forced on into this, and early on starts all right. Marv picks up a double.
Yeah, good results there into the aggression and return on investment for what they brought into this round. Fortunately, Finesse able to do more than just help out his team in way of fault line. Finds a kill onto Leaf, and Cloud9 in another position where they got to claw their way back in. A player down. We've seen him do it before. The Sky Smoke goes forward and allows both Mitch and Vanity to creep up the ropes, and Finesse falls asleep on the angle. Mitch some way finds the headshot. Jump peaks are there. Wall looking to go up, and the paint shells will force him back. So in the 2v2, the close angle's being held with the guns in the hands, right? The Judge, the Spectre, it's not great should these fights come from another angle. So you have to be praying for OpTic that this is where they want to go out towards towers. Their last two remaining Sky Smokes, they go down at the worst possible time, but the long-range duels will go the way of Cloud9 and OpTic. They tried to piece together a round that just fell apart.
Really impressive work there from Vanity. He knew what was going on. He knew that with the lesser weapons, they would want to commit the fighting towards the site, and that was the pivot. That was the change-up. In towards the round, falls asleep on the angle just a little bit too much, and now the streak continues. One away now. Our Cloud9 from taking us in towards a third map, and for the side of OpTic, what do they have to work with? It's meager. Good ults up. They'll try and use them in this round, but the weapons themselves tough. And look at this. Cloud9 is expecting aggression. They have an orbital strike ready. Use it immediately.
And they send that one out, but they're answered by so much utility just stuck in the corner here just outside A main. It's basically a full reset across the board. Aftershock toss. Victor looking to get up close and personal. The showstopper answered, but we go 1 for 1 at the end of the day. And the Viper's Pit comes down to make sure that Cloud9 have a hard time, pushing their way through as Finesse looks to sneak back out towards the site. He's forced to answer to Leaf. And the close range battle doesn't go Leaf's way this time around, so the back and forth ensues. The chaos ensues, and OpTic need to find a way to hang on as Ye plays inside the cloud smoke. Vanity privy to this, trying to hold the angle. The tour de force gonna back away for now, and OpTic wait for Cloud9 to make a play. Marv drops into stands, picks the kill on a Mitch.
Yeah, that's a big one to find now. 2v3, and Ye knows what's going on. Marv, however, has no recourse. He was stunned through all of that, so it gets a little bit strange in this one. The spike is isolated, stuck out in the open. Ye needs to be killed, and it's Vanity's job to do so. Gets spotted. He's zoned out of this one. They should be able to find this rotation. Group up with Vanity on the site to now Crashies. It falls to him, and he makes the right play. It's only one.
A tap on the spike. Vanity just trying to stay alive, but he's got an op just around the corner in way of tour de force, and OpTic have done it. They hang on to fight another round.
Yay, able to save that round on through for OpTic, but it is so scrappy. And again, the issue of economy continues to come on through for OpTic. They have scraps to work with still, but same is true of Cloud9, so maybe a road to at least start to build towards this comeback. That opening fight, I think, was a bit of an over-commitment from OpTic. They used so many ults early on there just to counter out that aggression. If they had conceded that space, maybe tried to use that Rolling Thunder instead in towards the post, it could have found a little bit more value, but it's all good. They win it out, 1 versus 1 to come on through, and they stay alive in this map, at least for the moment. Cloud9, though, they're looking to set up towards another one of these B splits. It's been very potent thus far, and it's a Rolling Thunder to work with.
And Rolling Thunder on the opposite side, but nothing hits Marv here. So he's going to be able to plant his feet safely. Mitch going to go up atop the wall, and Ye falls once more to leave the spike to be planted. I mean, in the site, they don't even have to fight for it. Finally, they'll look to do so, but the flashes catches everybody, Marv included. And OpTic down a player, a resurrection to swing on through, and although they're fighting back, they're trading the kills the best they can. The numbers are not in favor. Finally, Finesse will get something back. Victor now going hunting. The rocket launcher on his shoulders. What can he find as he might be forced to throw the rocket up into heaven? Doesn't even find some damage, unfortunately. He's got a low HP member in Finesse to try and help him out around the corner. Leaf gonna take him down. He continues the hot streak as Victor tries to fight for everything, but it's not enough at the end of the day, and it's Cloud9 to push us to map 3.
Yeah, Cloud9, look, only one of them can keep going up top for the moment. Some interesting compositions coming out, Tanner, I think showing kind of the fundamental differences in decision-making for this new meta. Between that Brim and the Omen, it's going to be an exciting one as OpTic spike towards mid. Looks like they're going to fight that space early on and also want to shut down Leaf, who does love taking these duels out towards B main, especially on the pistol rounds.
Yeah, this is a map where we get so much, I don't know, supplementation is kind of the word that I want to use for it.
Sure.
Between Marv and Victor, they can do so much for their team. The desk was breaking it down the other day. Not yesterday, I think the day prior, when they were playing on this map between what Victor and Marv can get done. So this feels like such a good place for OpTic to be in, and you're kind of seeing why, as they've got themselves the A side basically for free, and then some more as Finesse. I mean, Finesse is killing everybody. Sure, Marv's getting a piece of the pie, and finally, Victor also going to find his way in there. It's a Prime Gaming flawless. Before I could even get my thought out, OpTic, I mean, they're playing Snake around the map. The Snake's getting longer and longer and longer, and the round's getting shorter.
So I love the kind of protocols throughout this round. So early on, pressure towards B main. They know that Leaf loves taking those A main fights. They shut that down early. Then over towards mid. KO Knife goes deep. Again, further delays that rotation. It's hidden towards A, off the Brim stim to expedite that speed. And then just a great performance from FNS to lock things down in toward the post. I love that round out of OpTic at a macro level. And, well, for Cloud9, they're not going to be able to do anything here. The stimulated jump peaks. 2 players just going uber fast to find that information top mid. I love the opportunities that this speed boost can give.
Yeah, and hey, Ye's come to play with a round 2 Vandal.
Yeah.
About to have himself a day. He doesn't want to give up anything. He wants to punish Cloud9 here in this round and get started on the right foot or the left foot, whichever he leads with. But they want to make sure that this is not a round that they concede to Cloud9, because we've seen it. In both of the maps previous, Cloud9 find ways to win this. And it's all classics across the board, so it's going to be a bit harder to do. But obviously that buy, that aggressive purchase from Ye could be the linchpin for a second round win. And a lot of respect given over, but finally look to hit this side. Incendiary goes out to make sure that nobody pushes on through. And Ye, I was speaking his praises, but he takes so much damage. The classics, a barrage of right clicks will find him down to 20 HP, but nobody's fallen just yet. And with the spike implanted here out towards the B side, it's Cloud9 to try and muster up a 4v5 retake with the classics in hand.
Do they want to actually commit to the retake, or do they want to just look to contain? Either way, Crashies will want to fight on out, and OpTic realize that containment could be an issue in this one, so they just take the duels, and, well, it's good work out of FNS, but now this is down to a 1 versus 2. Zep is healthy. This is a very winnable situation, but he has to clear the close corner. And unfortunately, the jumping and accuracy not quite enough. So it's a risky round. It's a close round. But OpTic, they keep that rifle through on Yang. They have the spike down. This might make them want to reinvest and buy into this round. Because look what you have. FNS has a Killjoy ultimate. You still have one of those rifles saved on through. They've bought into another. I'd honestly like to see it. They're doing it.
They're doing it.
Where do they take this, though, is the question, though.
It's the hover out towards the B side. I think a lot of this is going to be off of what Ye can find right here off the rip, right? Peeking into B main. Unfortunately, nothing there, but a turret to be taken down. It's the default Zetamich, Sova, Killjoy, B hold. Rockdart out. And over the top. Curious to know where that one landed, and a drone out towards mid as well. So here comes the lockdown. Might be hard to deal with. We'll see if those shock darts do so. Nope, the bots will keep it alive, and they're going to get caught on it. I don't know if Mitch is safe. Back boathouse. Yep, he actually was. There's a small sliver, and Ye's been taken down. So the damage mitigated on the side of Cloud9 as Marv hops his way onto the site, and well, he brought the spike with him. It's planted there in the mud as Finesse just on the outside of the dark cover. Recon bolt going to be answered. Pulls away the crossover just a second. It's enough for Mitch to fall as Victor scoops one up. Frenzy in hand, 11 HP, and he's just trying to play wonky. He's just trying to play angles, and it's working. Now Zeppa with 30 HP to his name needs to get it done for Cloud9, and he cannot. It's 3 in a row for OpTic.
Crashies cleans things up in the end there, too. That is such a good round from them. The reinvestment, sure, it is a colossal risk, but this is where things went the other way. KO's on the other side of the map. You don't have that knife to delay, and then the shock darts are for the wrong position on the Killjoy. Unfortunately, the thing about the shock darts, no matter what that AoE you might see on them being so wide, it's line of sight. If you have cover between you and a shock, or a piece of utility has the same, it's not going to hurt you. All good. That doesn't happen. So, in that case, it's the pivotal venture to turn that round in towards the other direction. As in this one, bit of utility to fight some space out towards mid, but the brunt of OpTic in towards A. They love themselves some rounds to work back in through Catwalk, but now that mid control lost out on. Leaf makes a play forward and gets away with it too.
The Stingers, I will always curse the Stinger until the day that I die, but we see it so much.
This is so opportunistic. FNS knows who dies in mid. That's the Killjoy on down. So now there's even timing on this. He's past Crashies. OpTic think that they've re-cleared back outside of B. This Killjoy lurk could be big. It is still just the classic, but if he re-hits through mid, there's a gun to be recovered.
Yeah, we say it's still a classic, but we saw this on Haven, right, where Mitch just found the right timing with only a classic. And had so much chaos created with just the backstab shots alone, got the health bars down, and the rest of the team cleaned up. So that could be the same exact case, and it is. And this time, it's the spike to fall, it's the Stinger to do it again, and a weapon upgrade for Leaf. Could mean problems as Ye goes deep into the defender side and spawn. Can't find too much. The paranoia doesn't land either. Crashies tried to spray him down, but he's punished. The frenzy will find the frag, and Ye, what do you got for me, buddy? A 1v5. To try and find a fourth for OpTic. Otherwise, C9 have done C9 things. They put the stamp on it and say, hey, we just find ways to win rounds.
Yeah, losing FNS so early is massive. You credit that round maybe to Mitch for being able to find that timing, but really, it was Leaf to do the heavy lifting. He finds that kill early on that breaks the Killjoy turret. He also finds the kill off of that secondary swing in towards mid. The Catwalk player was caught off by the flank and wasn't ready for him. Ye will just look to save in this round. He doesn't want to concede any more guns, so the thrifty round comes through as the clock strikes 0, and it's going to be a bit of a tough turn for the side of OpTic.
That definitely slows the momentum as we take a look back at that round started. I mean, the Spectres have been insane. Zeppa's been finding kills. Leaf gets 2 in this round with it. But it was that flank that was the ultimate linchpin. And most importantly, it was on... If Victor dies there, but the spike is elsewhere, maybe there's a way to still bandage that round. But because the spike falls in mid with nobody around it, that right there, it almost forces OpTic's hand and eventually gives the round over to Cloud9. We see a fight for the orb here in A main. It's Marv out on top with 5 HP. A shock dart at his feet, and it will find the trade kill. So Zeta, good on the trade. Now the Hunter Shuri will be available here for Crash should he choose to use it. We'll see if he hangs on to this. No command. Find the suppression. 0 point just to double it up and get some information. That Vanity, whoever might be playing up into heaven, they do secure that with the door closed. The site taken. The spike should be planted with ease.
That it should be in this post plan. It's a 4 versus 4, and FNS though. He has a really good position in this one. If he goes uncleared, he can reflank in towards the tree room. The dart was derived to get rid of him, but the flash, oh, he hears Mitch jumping, punishes it, and looks to stick around up towards heaven though. Leaf makes a swing, Leaf makes the play. It's a double, but now it's just him. Needs to isolate onto Victor, and he has the duel. The run and gun, he's won it. The ammunition is low. He'll pull out the Blade Storm, and he'll find the clutch. Leaf comes up massive for Cloud9 with the Red Bull clutch.
I've had enough. I've seen enough. I'm logging off for the day. My brain cannot compute. You saw it, even in the observing. We're bouncing back and forth. Things are getting so crazy. This is how this entire game has been. But somehow, someway, Mimi, you brought up meditation, and Leaf he's just meditating, just floating through the chaos in these rounds.
Dude, Mitch's face.
Look at the sigh of relief.
Face. He is like,
oh my
God, what just happened? That is obscene. Just the movement from this guy. The micro on Jet is ridiculous. That updraft for the information, he drops down and just... I don't know. We gotta move on. So too to the teams in the server here is OpTic. The punishment has been felt. They're on lesser arms, but they look to go quickly towards A. Or do they? No, they're out onto the side. Oh, Vanity, that timing. He spotted the gun barrel, but doesn't have the frag now. Ye is in towards his tree room. What?
Oh, and he sneaks on through, but it doesn't matter. Ye will finally swing out, but with 73 health. A couple of low members in front of him. Ye was looking to make a play, but it was stolen back as Cloud9 fight their way through this site. And sure, Leaf will fall, but Mitch is there to trade him out, and Cloud9 will tie us up. They give up something. They give up just a little bit at the start of these games, Mimi, but then it just seems there's a point for Cloud9 that they just whip it on.
Yeah, that they do. I do think the pace change was the right call here for OpTic, but punishment is there. Cloud9 does well for it, and, well, Leaf continuing that strong performance at about number 1. Tactical timeout called in this one. So, now the question is, where does OpTic go with this? I'd like to see them slow things down, but it's been a multiplicity of rounds where Cloud9 is just getting these really weird timings off these pushes up, especially towards mid. Leaf is just making himself a menace because he's just pushing smokes without a flash and dashing away. You don't do that, but Leaf does, and he gets away with it at the highest level. It is wild. It's the plays that you don't expect to be able to win on out, but the thing is, OpTic is expecting, right, the normal play, the play that you make you win on out. So sometimes you have to just be opportunistic. Do the dumb play. It's not dumb if it works.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I think there are people, and I will be one of those people that will always say, just because it works doesn't mean it's the right play. But the destination, the goal, right, is that it worked. And like you were pointing out, right, OpTic just not ready for it. I think the best part that comes with that is if Leaf is playing like a madman and doing crazy things like that, it allows for Zeppa to not necessarily hold his hand. He doesn't have to be that 1-2 with the Jet, right? And he can assist his team elsewhere with these flashes, with these fragments, whatever it may be. And then Leaf can just be out on his island and do Leaf things. And, well, we're seeing it here, right? Where Leaf is on the opposite side of the map. He's got Vanity to back him up. And should he need a flash, a paranoia available, but a fragment early in the round, it forces OpTic back, and this is a big round, right? They just took a timeout. They full buy all the way into this one. Look at the economy, but Leaf, the timing, oh no, it just escapes him.
This is weird now. He should be punished, right? They'll probably look to buy time. Crashes can flank on through, but he's worried about someone top mid. He's right to be a Leaf. This angle is really hard to contend with, even if you know he's coming. That flash, oh, it is so good! And the movement this time not good enough to bail Leaf. Oh, but Zeppa, how does he get that back in? He didn't even use a flash. He just waits for his teammate to break contact, swings right, claims to. This is tough now for OpTic. They still have 2 big ults to work with. Do they want to use the KJ ult in this one? KJ is alone out towards mid. Instead, they're just doing it. One flash. Victor fighting on in. Zeppa wasn't blinded, but misses the shots. Vanity, however, claims the double. Paranoia onto 1. The zigzag behind the generator. No, FNS is alone. He's already been revealed. Still able to claim a frag.
30 seconds. A lockdown. With 50 health. And no spike. And we already brought up the economy, right? Is this a round that he looks to send? How much is put into the cost of this weapon? And how much it might mean in the next round? He spots out Vanity, but the high ground not enough here. 33 HP will be just enough for another round win for Cloud9. And it's now 4 in a row. And that was OpTic's timeout to try and stop some of this momentum. But Cloud9 today just keeps steamrolling forward.
Yeah, that flash is really good. Full blind on towards Leaf. Ye is there. He even dashes forward. Gets ahead of things and is able to do it. But I think his Vanity is just so good with the Omen utility. He seems a man let loose. Now off the Astra. He was previously an IGL that was sometimes pretty slow to frag, but on this Omen, he's been finding a lot of impact in that individual department, and of course in the util usage for his squad as well. A couple days ago, we talked about this on the desk, but the way he's switching around these one-ways and constantly having one up, constantly having a lane that is completely shut down, that was one of their big strengths against Knights, and they're trying it again here. They're doing it again here. Sure, it's a little tougher, because OpTic does have that KO to counteract it. Here it is again. Vanity just continuing to apply pressure in main, trying to isolate these players on out. The one-way does miss, but could be in trouble here, and yeah, Victor is able to claim the frag. A gun recovered, and A site is open.
The best part about that play, though, is Vanity spots a handful of members, so it allows for that rotation call to come on over. Good recon bolt to reveal a few members. Nobody there to answer, though, and it's Cloud9 to find themselves a player down. A lockdown used on the site, but one in response. A nice little Valorant Venn diagram. Here comes the orbital strike, and this is one of the best uses that you're going to get out of the ultimate outside of finding kills. And while it does its job, and it allows for the spike to be planted, so plenty of time to get that one down. Now it's Cloud9 working against the clock. Only one Vandal here in the hands for OpTic, with 4 standing. The knives just underneath, and Crash not really in a... I guess he is kind of in a position. He's out towards main, so he can still play the Hunter's Fury should he want to. Ye has a dart on the inside of him, but he's still fighting forward as Zeta will get one with the Odin. Through the wall will find the next, and there's no ults available as Marv will fall. Crash, she's died previously, and Cloud9, Mimi, they just do it again.
You got, like, infected with a parasite there. The dart stuck to him. He doesn't really realize. He's like, someone get this off of me. He has no way to break it from the front of his face, and he runs into a position that it tags his teammate. That sets Zeta up for the massive wallbang kill to take down 3 with the Odin. The paper-thin map combines wonderfully with that weapon. However, that was the lesser buy for OpTic. They dealt some damage.
Yeah.
They got the spike on down. We have to put that in context. And now they have the reinvestment on full. Rifles to work with. Yay, toying with the idea of the op. He will not commit to it, though. I think that's the right call. As a solo duelist in this composition, so much more value in just being able to dash in, create the space for your squad. If it was maybe a map where Victor was playing on the race, maybe that's a different story, but no time to think. Leaf is straight on in. He was trying to dash and claim a timing within that smoke, but here comes a pinch. Here comes a reply. It's Vanity. An Odin of his own claims a frag, and the shock darts can punish onto Ye. Legolas not working for him today, as Ye still lives in the close corner.
That he does, but only momentarily. Zeta ready for him as he tried to escape on out, and he'll finally be taken down. Here comes that Hunter's Fury as well. Across the map to no avail, unfortunately. Maybe Marv actually did receive attack as he's low HP, and Zetta's there to answer. Meanwhile, Mitch will find the spike carrier, and Victor, the last one standing, crashes here in a 1v3. OpTic, they get out ahead of Cloud9 once more, but they just steal it back, and it's 6 in a row. Some way, somehow, OpTic have to stop this bleeding.
That was a really interesting play, early in towards mid. So they put down the smoke, dash on in. It's meant to be set up with a pinch here through B. I think they suspected it was going to be a heavier play towards mid, and it almost fails, right, with Eve dying, but thankfully for them, Zeta utterly demonic with the Odin in his hands and reclaimed that round. The Killjoy utility as well was never dealt with because that KO did die early on, and Mitch had the late round impact off of it. Lesser weapons now coming through for OpTic. Marv, he was toying with the idea there. No, he does commit to it. Your weapon to work with in this one. Fast out towards mid. It's a beast.
Very quick for Ye. Gets caught on the wall. He's going to be taken down. The trade is there. It's a lesser buy, but damage dealt no less. Leaf has fallen. OpTic open for the best here. Okay, this could be an interesting timing if that drone doesn't spot Finesse. Eventually, Zeta will come out of that. Finesse didn't quite have the timing on the push. Instead, the Odin is gonna hold it down backside the paranoia. It doesn't find the near sight, but Zeta will find the kills no less. As Vanity falls, still a player and a weapon advantage. Make it 2 players. Advantage the way of Cloud9. Mitch to push on. Step to follow, but the backstab from Zeta to close out yet another. And Mimi, I want to rewind to a couple of rounds ago where it was just an eco round. It was a close one for OpTic, but looking back at it, what did they use? They used the knives for Ye, the lockdown for Finesse, and the orbital strike from Marv, and they've yet to get those ults back online. So for the 2 rounds following, maybe had they hung on to those, things could be, we'd be looking at a different picture here, but they're still chasing those ults. It's only Victor to have that null command, Crashies to have that Hunter's Fury, but that could be a potent combo in itself, especially the way that OpTic's been hitting these sites quick.
Yeah, absolutely. It can always be a potent one here, but Leaf already in one. Has a timing on this one, but misses the shot.
No
And now he's suppressed. No blades, but more crucially, no dash. Leaf dies for it. No reply possible for C9. They have to concede this A site. It'll fall to a retake unless Zeppa makes a play. He has the idea, but
Look at the spike,
will not
Amy.
commit to it. Oh, it's a
Look at the
fake.
spike.
They faked me out even, man. B site, that's completely open. The Killjoy utility deactivated right now. This is so smart from OpTic.
They do take a bit of damage in the fight out towards the A site. Ye falls. Victor still waiting in the area, but now Cloud9, they know it's going to take them a handful of times or a handful of seconds to creep on back towards that B site. And Victor's going to have the backstab. It's all about the timing of this flank. We'll see how fast Cloud9 want to take this, and they've got a lockdown should they choose to use it. Nobody in the crosshairs just yet, and Victor not actually seeing Zeppa giving up his back. Now Zeppa gonna go on the swing and find a kill onto the flank. Here comes the lockdown as Crashies plays inside the smoke. Zeppa will find another via the fragment grenade. Crashies looking to find his way out of main. Vanity only gonna have that trusty Judge. Will swap on over to Vandal, but he's out of time. He just has to try and fight it out, strip away the weapons. It was a wonky play, but it worked. Is OpTic secure their fourth?
Yeah, really well done onto them. Cloud9 is normally a team that hasn't really overcommitted off of these, but losing Leaf early, which, again, was Victor's utility to do so almost single-handedly between the fragment and the suppression, that meant that they had to. They had no other choice but to rotate and hope to play in towards that retake, because when OpTic has time to set up in these posts, when you have Brim, when you have KO, when you have Sova, it's really tough to fight back in, and that's not even considering FNS's lurks and the utility that he brings into the equation. So, well played there to OpTic Gaming. Orbital strike in this one. Are they trying to punish in A main? I'm guessing that's off contact of the dart. If it's broken and they go for it, but it's too late. Everyone away. It almost just creates a separation, forces OpTic to delay, but now they'll go for this one. However, Vanity, again with the delay, Paranoia. He has a dart cover up as well, and Leaf has found his chance. Does the dart cover go on through? Not yet. He's trying to wait. Vanity wants to see if he can get away from this one, as he is in a bit of trouble with that lockdown through. However, he's found an angle, a bit of safety in this site.
Just on the outside, he can hold the angle, but Victor, a bit better on it, will take Vanity down, and even the odds here in the 3v3. And across the map is Zeta, right? He's still hanging out, so it's only 2 players just about directly on this site, but strong one here, and Zeppa up top taken down as Ye starts to show some form, and he cuts the numbers down to 2. Mitch, awkward on the timing, not able to find the swing from main just yet, as Ye will find another. All down to Zeta. Trusty Odin in hand. The health bar's low on 2, trying to find the wall bang right off the rip. And we'll toss out a couple of shock darts. Look to see if anybody's playing out towards Generator. It's a very tall ask here for the Sova. And he has to try and line him up, but he just can't do it. It's finesse to close us out, to push us to the last half of the series. And it's just after this break.
Another tight game at the half here as Cloud9 scrape ahead by 2. The attacking side now, what they look to mount as upper bracket life is on the line for both of these Giants, Tanner.
Yeah, and so in wins and losses, OpTic 8-4 at the half in the last 2 series. This time it gets a little better. And we were talking about it during that break, Mimi. Win condition for OpTic back, if we look way back to what was Haven, was let's stop Leaf from doing Leaf things. It's a little bit harder with Leaf being on the attacking side here because he's going to take that fight to you, but they have to find a way to trip the Titan here in Leaf. And while it doesn't seem like it's early in this round, as he has already assumed his position, a Heaven, yay, gonna step on up. Sheriff shots don't land. A couple of frenzy shots do to find a bit of chip damage, but at the end of the day, 5v5 OpTic, they gotta retake. That's Spike's Planet.
Retake on the cards, but even odds in this one, and still some good utility to work with. Crashy's had his shocks and Victor a flash. Let's see where he's going to place that one, as they're currently just working on re-clearing these flanks. They realize no one's going to be lurking up on them, so can commit to the work back in, but a well-timed dark cover should delay.
Dark cover to slow things down, and on the inside, well, you found a Leaf. Make it 2. He takes down both Victors and Crashes, and the rest of the team is just falling around Marv. He's got his trusty classic, but that might not be enough. 12 bullets, you need so much more, and, well, you don't even have the time to do it. It's all about the morale kills at the end of the day, but Leaf won't allow it. 3 kills on the round, and it'll push Cloud9 to 8.
Dude, when is Leaf evolving? When is this man becoming the whole bush, the whole tree? Because at this point, the impact he has found has been ridiculous. In so many of these rounds, fighting forward directly into the dark cover, OpTic's just not ready for it. And in those close corners, run and gun, the movement with the frenzy is incredibly tough to fight back against, and just not possible for OpTic. They don't get really much done in that round whatsoever, so no reinvestment to come. Cloud9, however, an excellent buy off the Spectres, a hero rifle from Mitch as well, as they'll head towards B. It's the wrong stack for OpTic.
It's going to be Crashies. Figure that one out. He does have 2 shock darts and a drone to play with, but we'll see if he decides to hang on to those to bolster that economy. And with 11 health, I would think that the call is not to send out that util. Rotation's coming over, but they're coming through B main, and Mitch might be caught a little off guard. No, finally he goes back to the angle, but he comes off it for just a second, and he's got a Phantom. This could be problematic as they push forward. Vanity will trade the 1-for-1 out onto Crashies, but yay, well, he's got that aforementioned Phantom in hand, and he's going to be looking to do some damage with it. Only 3 remain on the side of Cloud9 as they look to hold down the site. Vanity, long-range battle with the Spectre to take down Victor, but it's traded back again. We go back and forth as Marv survives with 1 HP, but he has to do it again, and he will!
The classic right-click, man! Demonic! This guy finds it! The clutch comes through. OpTic just barely holding on. A thrifty round for them. No investment on in, but the critical turn was a loss of that rifle. Mitch is alone. He's looking the wrong way. He's not ready for the flank to come on through. Gun gets recovered. Yay starts doing yay things, and all it takes is a little bit of skill, a little bit of luck in the end for Marvs to pull it off with just that classic yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate for Mitch. He is feeling the pain because that round largely on him. However, it's just 1 round. Those things happen. It's a high-tension game for both of these squads. C9 will be on the eco, but they still do hold on to their lead.
They do still hold on to their lead, but should be cut down here unless they can match Thrifty for Thrifty. Leaf gonna push on once more. He's gonna be taken down almost immediately. This time OpTic, they plant their feet and they fight for the site. They don't want to give it up because they know what damage can be dealt once you allow Cloud9 to get set up. Unfortunately for Cloud9, no setup to be had, no round to be won. It's Prime Gaming flawless to push us within 1 round.
Clean in that one. Good luck out of OpTic. However, Cloud9 will have the reinvestment, a chance to return to form. They're just around the corner from a couple of these critical ults, and I honestly just want to see them slow it down a little bit. Leaf has been on a heater, Zeppa has as well. Let them play together. Deathball it a little bit, work your default, try and see how much can come out of that one, because on the other side, Ye has been looking aggressive for information in quite a few of these rounds. That's one of the big reasons they won that eco, because the push off the KO util. This time he will be the anchor in mid, so a little less space to play with in way of that aggression, but you still want some form of a duel here. However, will just be forced to back away by the utility. This is well done out of Cloud9. They're holding on to their default, and they already have a big piece of utility early. They know both the Jet and the Killjoy are on that B side, and deal some damage onto FNS.
Yay tries to go aggressive. Mitch is ready for him. Unfortunately, Leaf not ready, so the Killjoys getting the best of the Jets in this round. Maybe biting off a bit more than they could chew, but at the end of the day, things even across the board, a 1-for-1. Cloud9 look to link up 4 strong out towards the A site, and it's a drone. Cleared things out. Incendiary going to buy some time, but there's plenty still on the clock here for Cloud9. Just under 50 seconds. And, well, this basically cements the hit. No command to push him forward. Shots to the dark cover and the door to be closed. Victor wants to go aggressive. Maybe pushes through the other side. He's able to take down Zeppa. But with that kill coming through, a resurrection might be around the corner. They're a little afraid to do it. Mitch gonna go for the tap. Finesse not gonna have the re-equip in time. Unfortunately, had his weapon out. And the orbital strike used just to secure the kill onto Zeppa. And a player down still. Or OpTic. Finally, the KO gone. From the shadows, used for just a second. Marv to push on 4. All 3 players of Cloud9 out towards A main and a sky smoke. Even concealment. Here at OpTic. No way. Crashies behind the wall. He can just
Shock dart doesn't hit.
Mimi, the shock darts don't land. The Red Bull clutch the way of Crashies. The kills don't matter.
Oh, I normally love that plant position, but they do it a little bit too close to the wall. He has a gap. Again, shock darts are line of sight based. Even if it's the slimmest of margins, the littlest of cover, you can still get it done. And, well, it was heroic for Crashies to hold on to us. You have to give some of the credit to Marv. That sky smoke, 20 seconds of time delayed. The impact of the brimstone being shown in what could have been one of the biggest swing rounds in this half. OpTic would have been broken, but now they have great economy. They have full guns on into this. Yay has an op, and Cloud9, they've scraped together a buy, sure, but it's pretty dismal. So tough.
I mean, the Frenzy, the Stinger, those have been the weapons that have really opened the doors for these thrifty rounds. And there's one in the hands of Zeppa, one in the hands of Vanity. Leaf has the blades on a line, but how much pressure is now on his shoulders to reclaim the lead for Cloud9? And he's got to be the guy to do it. He's been the guy the majority of this game, and it can't stop now. So a drone to clear things out. Knife going to be taken care of, so 0 point won't cut off the abilities just yet. They know an Odin is here. Out goes the drone, out goes one knife. A fragment, of course, finesse off the position, but it doesn't matter. He fights for 2 in the Odin. It starts to scream out on the site as Zeta battles back for 2 of his own. There's 3 more to worry about. It would take the ace. He's healthy. The high-low is just too much. The op from Ye finally finds its mark, and OpTic will claim a lead.
A moment of fear there. We've seen Silvus do it from that position before, but not to be in this round. FNS, big performance from him, and what set him up was great recon from Crashies. Pings through the wall, spam for FNS, and he helps his teammate out towards the back line. C9 did the right thing by expediting that round, just trying to play to get the plant on down, but it's completely denied. Now, reinvestment will come back on through, but look what OpTic have. If this comes down to a retake, FNS has his ult. So much space can be bought just off of that, and Victor as well with that null command online. Shut down utility, which has been a big point for Cloud9 in towards these post plants. The combination of that space creation plus the Brim Sky Smokes to lock you out is tough to work with, but in this one, Victor, he'll have a lineup, I think that's towards main, to try and fight close to what people used to do with the Phoenix, but instead it's actually the combo of utility the other way. Free room retaken for OpTic. C9 have to look towards B instead.
And the Nanoswarms, they were at the feet, but they unfortunately just couldn't get it off in time. Here comes that fragment finally to B site. There's no op here, so they want to try and hit it, but the backstab is perfect. Finesse the timing. It couldn't have been better for the 2-for-1, and Crashies is still here. He's still holding it down. A recon bolt for information. Unfortunately, not able to find the wall bangs, but he doesn't need them. He'll find the headshots instead as Zeta's there to trade it back. The knives go across the top, and Ye looks to close us out here for a 10th round, and that's exactly what will happen. A 10th for OpTic.
OpTic hold on, and they grab another in towards these retakes. The amount of pressure they can apply just sets the Sova in the back lines up for so much success. Again, it's about that time being chipped off the clock. It's about Cloud9 never having a chance to much less get the spike down, but not even get any space once that spike is in place. The usual combos have been so good out of OpTic. I think especially of how Victor, he's a man I hype up a lot on this map, but for good reason. The way he enables Ye to be a hero is massive. And well, in this round, it wasn't Ye, it was FNS instead. Flash forward, FNS gets 2. There's still that Silva in towards the back. You have no time for Cloud9. You have no second choices. You're locked in from all fronts, and oh, they're feeling the hurt.
That is a defeated Cloud9 there. Been 5 in a row for OpTic, and they have to find a way to stop that momentum, because it's one thing for, you know, somebody like Ye, Victor to be popping off, but now you've got Finesse doing it, right? And this is your IGL. This is, you know, leading by example for his squad. So the morale, it's through the roof, whereas on the inverse, now I know this isn't everything, but when you've got your IGL bottom fragging, right? Not having a great game, they've got their own mental to work through to then be able to maneuver their team through these rounds. So for Finesse to be at the top, I mean, it's all steam, full steam ahead, right? Yeah. Keep tossing in the coal. Let's go, Locomotive.
Locomotive keeps on turning. Where does that knife go? That's an interesting one. I think that's towards Link. Yeah, it's towards main. It's one that hits really late, and it goes on the roof. So another one of those unbreakable KO lineups. I love that. Now, see the reaction off of that. Knife reveals no one is B main. They readapt towards A. There are 4 players here. This is so well set up by OpTic.
And Cloud9 probably have no idea that knife just happened. Absolutely no idea that they're running right on into the grinder. Ye doesn't get blinded. The frenzy, not enough there. The Hunter Fury is, however, Zeta goes shoot the 2 kills of his own as Zeppelin pushes his way onto the site. He has to answer to Victor, and he didn't have his weapon out to do so. And how much more can the util get from Zeta? Well, there's our answer. It's absolutely nothing. It's going to be a Guardian here in the hands of Mitch to try and stop this momentum, but the angle's being held. The spike is in hand, however, and he does have 45 seconds. The B site's open. Unfortunately, the door's closed. The timing needs to be perfect.
Yeah, but look where Crash Cheese is. I think he's in a position where if that spike gets tapped, he might just hear it. Has that out to play with it, even just as a delay factor. It might not come back down to that. He's holding the right angle. Mitch is going for this flank. The Odin's on the angle. There's no way you can breach past Crashies. 11-8 now. Scoreline that OpTic were able to maintain, as that was just so well set up in the mid-round. This KO knife across the map, they know, they're guaranteed that it's going to be an A hit. And Ye's in position. 3 other players to back him up. It was heroics out of Zeta, of really, really excellent. Hunter's Fury, he finds 2 kills, a tag onto a 3rd, but that trade doesn't come through. There was never a conversion onto Victor in the close corner, and that's the second point in which that round went wrong. Again, it was the lesser buy. So that's okay, but this is absolutely a must-win for C9. Their money will be broken if they can't take this one home, and they'll be facing up against Series Point.
To start stringing them together is Ye. Very aggressive out towards A main. Can't find anything just yet. That's actually not tagged by the 0 point. Flash out. Nothing found just yet. Eventually, Vanessa's position will be noted, and Leaf tries to fight it out, but at the end of the day, it's just damage dealt on Finesse, damage dealt on Vanity, and Marv is here. Oh my goodness, he looks away from the flash, and he finds 2 crucial kills. And guess what? You're headed towards the A site, and Ye's ready for you. He's got the op. He doesn't have the angle. Did he spot the feet? No, it's Vanity from main. It's a Hunter Fury from the opposite side this time around, and it's Crashies to secure a kill. But OpTic, they've got to retake the site, and Vanity, he's stuck on the wrong side of the door. Will shoot it down himself. The backstab. Look at Leaf. He's got 2 players in front of him. A lockdown there as well. Crashies on the trade. And the 1v1 and Vanity stuck. He's got to go. He's got to get out of dodge, and Crashies is ready for it.
Oh, it's over.
Jump out too early.
Not the knife. Not ending it like this. That's so tough. Leaf had the play. He got 2. He just needed what wasn't a kill. Even if he only gets 1 kill there and breaks the lockdown, I think Vanity can win that round. But it's completely unwinnable. The round was completely on Leaf's back, and he didn't quite do enough. OpTic take that one home, a 12th round. I mean, it was so well set up, too, from Cloud9. They knew exactly where that lockdown was coming. Leaf was prepared. You even saw Vanity applying pressure from the other side to pull the heat off Leaf. Just another critical mistake at a critical juncture, and now the buy is tough, and it's match and series point for Cloud9 to play against.
Match and series point. Same start. dart out towards mid, make sure no aggression headed that way. Turret gonna spot out where the op is, so Cloud9 naturally gonna look to head the other direction. But this buy, it is a rough one. Leaf made its way all the way up here on the A side. It's similar to what we've seen previously, where OpTic will just give this one up. It's scary, though, to allow Cloud9 to plant their feet here in the post plant, and maybe they won't allow it as Vanity. What's he shoot at? How'd he get a headshot there? It looked like he was shooting at the legs, but Victor falls no less. Site now taken. Door now closed. Ooh, finesse. Quick on the break. Gonna stop the plant for now. Mid's low HP. Will try to survive as Ye will pick one up onto Leaf. Marv is there to battle back, and he has been crucial for this squad, and he does it again. Now Vanity has to go huge, and a 1v3 picks up the first. The right click's good. Another one around the corner, and one just above as he hears the jet drop down. He's got 13 rounds to play with in a dark cover to play just on the outside with 68 HP to try and hang on. The IGL, he has to do it all. He sends out the shots. He looks to find Ye, now forced to reload. He's only got 25 seconds. He has to push forward. He has to make a play. He's got the spike and the ult, and he's headed to the B site.
That's so big. He just needed to grab. It's grand theft from Vanity, and now he's on the other side, but still, this is tough. His HP is incredibly limited in this round. Getting a forward fight and isolating a duel here is huge.
Crowded step up the sidewalk. Dark cover to go down. Ye no longer on the operator. Oh no, but I think Vanity was spotted out. Crashes the next to Pete. He's just trying to sneak away, but he gets caught on the lip. He's got 28 HP in the bullet. They just go over the top, but it doesn't matter. Crashes will close it out. There's no way to hang on. And OpTic have done it. They dethrone the Kings, and they're one step closer to representing North America at Iceland.
OpTic looked fantastic throughout this game, throughout this series, and on Ascent, the second half was really impressive from them. The KO utility, allowing them to play around that mid-round so well. Day was set up for the absolute best success. The Brimstone...
They've got something up their sleeve. It's getting a little weird. Kind of monkeying around a little bit to kind of bounce off how Bren was talking about the composition. But hey, like you said, they've got the confidence in it, and this is the time to get it done. And, you know, maybe you lose map 1 and you can reverse sweep on your way out, just like they did against Xset. But it's a little scary, right? Cloud9 have been this beast, and Cloud9 also are going to have ways, I would imagine, to slow this down. We saw what the Neon could do on the attacking side to get around some of the starts of the rounds, but that won't be the case, as it's going to be Victor and friends on the defense, and it's Ye to go aggressive here in the pistol. Takes a shot, unfortunately misses it, but he's allowed to escape, courtesy of the rendezvous. He swaps on over to the Classic and looks for something extra.
Talked about slowing things down, but Cloud9 speeding things up. It's going to be a fast hit towards C, but it's been conceded, and the fight in mid, that's a bit more important. It was a walk down by FNS. He initially had the help of Victor, but now, with a man advantage, that spike only just being planted, OpTic are in a position to retake this quickly, and they still have the utility left. Take a look towards FNS flashes on this one.
When the dash on in with the high gear, Victor able to find the first, and the frenzies are just shredding Cloud9 here. Oh my goodness, the Neon for 3 ensures just the pistol, but that's a great way to get started with this comp again.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of conversation around this Cloud9 triple flash comp and the similar one that V1 has been running, but the way that OpTic are actually instituting just that double flasher plus the Neon is looking really impressive, at least in that first round, right? Very close. You have a sky flash on through, then a bit deeper, in comes this breach flash, so that staggers them. There's a player caught out in the open with that high gear, just sprinting on in for Victor. I mean, there's no way to cancel that out. You're blinded, you're getting overwhelmed. It's really tough to fight on away, and the critical part of that round that made it all possible was that kill in towards mid. This comp, sure, you have Ye on his chamber to hold space, but your information is largely reliant on aggression, and OpTic is showing that early on.
Aggressive take onto the C site from Cloud9, and an aggressive response from OpTic, and, well, Cloud9, they're feeling pretty good after getting that spike planted. They forced up here into this round. You see the Marshall, the Stinger, and Spectre's just behind it, looking for a quick B hit. And you see the sight lines here. This basically locked down. They should have an answer for this, and a flash out will confirm. Players out this way. Now, they did the first to fall. The Stinger's able to steal one back, but the Headhunter to secure one, and Marv to find another. Now, unfortunately, Vanity, he just can't get away. The IGLs go toe-to-toe once more, and it's finesse to come out on top. And force buy didn't go the way that you were hoping if you're Cloud9, so they'll have to try again in a couple of rounds.
All right, interested in the Cloud9 do force into this round. They've been doing that quite a lot in like round 13 after the second pistol if they lose it. But this is the first time within this VCT run that they've actually elected to make that investment. I'm sure getting that spike down, dealing some damage onto OpTic is what baited them into it. They were hoping with the utility backup they might be able to get a spike down on B and then use those guns in the post, but doesn't work out. It's been a mixed bag of success for those Cloud9 force buy rounds. I don't hate it, right? But in MR12, it's a pretty big risk. I mean, they're staring down the barrel of a likely 3-0 start for OpTic, and, well, this is going to allow OpTic to bolster their economy in a big way. As, again, we see the A lobby fight. These A lobby fights are so much more potent than when it was Astra stuck to fight early on, because you have a relay bolt, you have a stun. Even if there was a Brim on the other side, there's not enough utility to get past all of that. There's not enough to break that timing. Cloud9 really just has to sit back and wait, let this utility run its course, and hope they can bait out enough in towards a late round. And they might have just done it in this one. Already space on B. Plant's coming down, and Mitch finds a big kill.
That was a big one. Unfortunately, there's a Vandal just on the other side, and it's in the hands of Yay. Oh my goodness. Close your eyes. I will walk you guys through the rest of the round so we do not have to see something like that. So the Vandal has now gone to the hands of Zeppa here on the sky. Flashes, stuns, everything tossed out at the OpTic roster, and Cloud9 have done it in Cloud9 fashion, where they just find a way. It's all up to Marv. He doesn't have a whole lot to work with. He's run out of time. Now he's no HP. And Cloud9, they don't concede 3. They put one on the board.
Yeah, that is a really big round to pick on up, and you see the idea. It was very similar to what they did on that initial force buy. Provide a little early pressure towards a lobby, figure out what's going on there, then regress deep in towards the B site. The critical change-up, though, in this round was Mitch finding the kill. If he dies, this pinch in towards C-Link becomes so much more potent. But with him down, there's pressure from the backlines. So both Marv and the player who was there before him felt the pressure to fight on in because they were lacking so much space. They want to do it quickly and not give time for Cloud9 to established, but it's that triple flasher comp again. The consistent re-aggression in the mid-round, and there it is again. Stun out towards long. They realize Victor would want to go for that ult, and they punish him.
They punish him. Perfect stun onto the speedy Neon. No way to get out of that one. Cues up the flash, and Leaf looks the wrong way. An op shot from Ye will take him down, and the guns are still good on the side of OpTic. They're matched by Cloud9, and so are the kills. Okay, Nanoswarm over the top for Mitch. Gonna take down Crashes, and they found themselves an equal situation as Ye takes another shot. He's looking to get that spike planted, and now he's the last one standing. Alarmbot goes down, the push is there, the vulnerability, but he picks up a weapon with 0 bullets in the magazine. Now Ye can just hold the angle and close out the round. It's OpTic to finally find that third.
Yeah, the op investment there is really big, and it's tough to Cloud9 lose that, because the early start looked really good for them. Reach stun out towards long by basically overwhelming with utility of their own. They nullify that A lobby play and are able to take down that Neon that was greeting to get that ultimate ability online, but crucially, Ye was just here with the op. We've talked a lot about this man's chamber performances, and it's looking good early on here. Still, for Cloud9, getting that plant down means they can gamble on reinvesting in towards a couple weapons here. If Leaf gets a kill or an orb, he can toss his rifle on over to one of his teammates, rock with that Blade Storm, but there we go. Ult out already. Victor, I like this from him, right? Because it's time-based. It's not ammo-based. You can afford to just spam on away as much as possible and provide that consistent pressure towards C. Good information early on here. They'll try and bolster this this A site, excuse me. But Yay, he's in a bit of trouble. Not able to rendezvous away in time. Again, this utility overwhelming from Cloud9.
Yeah, and I think you could just tell that they weren't ready for that play. Leaf was 1 pip away from the knives. Why wouldn't you go fight for C long, right? Why would you not grab that free orb? Yeah. So they're not expecting that quick hit out towards A. Leaf leading the charge. And eventually finding that kill now does have the knives online. Meanwhile, Mitch taking the long way around. There was a detour, a little bit of traffic, but he finds his way out towards the A site. And with that OpTic, looks like they just want to back away from it. They want to hang on to what they've got. Unfortunately, no op, as that one had fallen courtesy of Ye going down. I guess I should say courtesy of Leaf. And now it's all about the hunt. Mitch is going to be the solo hunter here with 3 players just around the corner. This is a spooky spot to be in. Not even able to find one. Marv will take him down. So a bit of economic damage. Only 1 fall on both sides, but Cloud9 secure another round.
they do. 2-3 now, working back on into this one, and Leaf manages to punish, take at least one of those guns on down. Not too much invested, as it was just the Blade Storm used in the end there. So Cloud9 feeling pretty good about this one. You brought up the point around that aggression towards C-Long. I thought that was well read. I was expecting them to do the exact same thing. Push Leaf for his orb, but the overdrive provides that consistent pressure. Still, they hear that. They realize that. And Cloud9 has an early punish here towards A main. It feels like unless there was a full investment of utility in towards this A lobby fight, Cloud9 are going to just abuse it every round. And here we see it again. Stun goes through, but again, they have this sustaining utility. Sure, that utility is invested. Sure, they're delayed for the side of Cloud9, but OpTic just sends back flashes of their own and basically cancels out, keeps it a stalemate. And that stalemate, they win out on the space. Neon will rotate on over quite quickly here, but Cloud9 for the moment, just pausing.
Yeah, just trying to slow it down. The last 5 rounds have been... They've been quick. They've been quick, to say the least. So we finally get a chance to breathe, to slow things down in that A site. Like you said, fortified now with Victor, who had since rotated on over, which is just an extra perk, right? If you're not picking the Neon specifically for the speed to be able to rotate like that, but it is nice just how the stim works now, right? That combat stim. I'm going to hold that thought. Leaf goes up and he catches Crashy sleeping on the angle, but there's no commitment just yet. They find that kill, and the paranoia sets in once more. The rotations are coming through.
Yeah, and I love this smoke, right? It makes FNS worry. He's afraid that something's happening towards C-Link. Now they know, but it might be too late, because Leaf just entries on in again. It's the flashes for aggression, and there was always alert out towards A. We've seen Vanity do this before, and he finds success off of it. Marv has traded back, but his position is revealed. He is so low on HP, it should be only a matter of time before someone finishes the job, and we'll find a third in the round. It's just Vanity to take down on towards that double swing to kind of call back to that play a little bit more overall. It starts out with a default for Cloud9. Then what they do is that 4-strong hit out towards B. Their heavy utility comp allows it, but what they've done in a fair few of these rounds is they leave Vanity lurking towards A, and that position is really big because he can super easily paranoia towards the A link and continue that fight forward for Leaf if it becomes necessary. And in that round, it didn't even really come down to his paranoia. Instead, it was just his position to deny the flank, which is needed because Mitch's utility, it's not like a chamber. It's not global. You run out of space on it, and well, that lockdown does work well for them. The money, a little worse for wear on the camp of OpTic. They want to try and go for some of this aggression, but Vanity early punishes it.
I was wondering when we'd get Vanity up on that box, a comfortable position with the IGL on the Omen. Flash to try and get Crashes out of dodge. Unfortunately, it doesn't work the way they were hoping. Aftershock used, but Leaf on the front foot once more. And this is a very scary Leaf. This guy has been, I mean, just a monster in group stages, in playoffs, whatever it may be. Leaf has been there for Cloud9, and he's doing it here nice and early, looking to secure the lead. Obviously not a whole lot to write home about as Marv, the only one, the weapon in hand. There goes the Sheriff to slide on in. Mitch, quick to answer, and Marv, not much more behind it. A near flawless for Cloud9, and they're going to secure themselves the lead.
Yeah, that they do. Another one of these punishes on the hit towards the A site. OpTic not able to get too much going as it was just the lesser weapons, finding a little bit of damage, that's fine, but they will be taking a fairly early tactical pause here. I don't hate this one because a couple of their rounds that could have swung their way pivotally. I'm thinking especially of that round where Victor popped his ult, was aggressing towards C-Long. That was a punish, and the other big punish that's been going on is this consistent winning of the fight over the space outside of A. Lobby has been taken pretty much every round for Cloud9, and again, it's that triple flash comp. They're only really investing 2 or 3 to claim that space. They have plenty left for the execute, and normally it's a Zeppa Sky Flash, so there's a recharge on that as well. And Leaf, it's also not like he's committing that dash early on. Back when Astra was the relevant agent for fighting for that space, we'd sometimes see teams just dash past it, just disrespect the gravity well. You don't really have to do that in the same way, so Leaf has kept up this util very late on in towards the round, but the side of OpTic, we'll have to see what this changeup is. I think there should be money for Ye to invest into an operator, which could be a big changeup. We saw that as a point of success earlier on in towards this game, and if you have an op, you can concede more early space. You can play a little bit more passive, lean more into the retakes, because if Ye gets one, he just teleports away with the rendezvous. All good.
Yeah, all good. The chamber brings to the table. We don't get the Ye Leaf Jet duel, but still going to be some names that we're paying attention to. And Ye, I think,
Oh, no.
Historically has slow starts. I feel like recently Ye's been having a hard time getting that front foot out. And you're seeing it again here as Vanity picks up 2 huge kills, pushing forward, wants some more, and just around the corner, well, there's another 3 kills for the Cloud9 IGL. And he's going to go hunting for the rest. He'll gladly sacrifice himself. 3 kills for 1 while his team plants on the C site. And for FNS and Crashies, maybe the play is just to look to save once more. You see Crashies headed the opposite way, but he's running right into the welcome arms of Vanity. Wide shots. Backstab is here. Finesse will take him down, so damage mitigation. But both players noted, and it looks like Cloud9 want to hunt.
Yeah, they want this one. His gun slipping away. Would big for OpTic to hold in towards the next. And Crashies does well. Locks down for a couple of frags. Doesn't look like Cloud9 are going to want to commit any more resources in towards this fight. So overall, it's okay for OpTic to hold on to that. But let's talk about what Vanity got away with there. First of all, it's just a bit of an unfortunate timing for Ye. Getting past that Omen smoke, he didn't have time to get the gun up, and Vanity just won out in that reaction. Then he just charges straight on towards site off of his own utility, gets that second frag, and realizes at that point, man advantage by 2. There is no harm in continuing to charge and basically just being a human Sova drone. So much space garnered just off this one man, and that timing is just so rough for Ye. The paranoia as well, combined with the stun here, was perfect. I think that Vanity actually heard a footstep from Marv, and I'm pretty sure that's why that was triggered off of, and you can see it already. Cloud9 having fun with this one. Zeta always got that big smile on his face.
Yep, always got that big smile on his face. Also has that very large ultimate in way of Rolling Thunder available for the squad. So I don't think the slow hits are coming anytime soon. Just keep the speed on as we toss out. Dark covers out towards the C-side. It's only Marv holding it down. Rendezvous would put Ye in the area, and Victor has since rotated over. But for now, the C-site conceded, but only to leave. Look at Vanity. He's still hanging out. He's got the spike in hand. He has the From the Shadows ready. And he heads the opposite direction. Oh my goodness. Crashies is just out of range to hear the plant, Mimi.
That is so tough. So now they have this ace site, and the Rolling Thunder was committed on C. Oh, this is such tough information. A faux pas, OpTic commit onto the wrong side. And look at Zeta. He's just holding onto the flank. He has Rolling Thunder available too, and will stick around. A thorn in the side. Vanity is in heaven. Every extremity, every forward angle is being fought for, and Vanity gets away with it too, buying even more time for this squad. What's the recourse for OpTic? They have to go now. They do have the Seekers to work with, and Vanity in a bit of trouble, but that smoke, it dropped away. It gave him some respite, and while the dogs fall from down below, so will Crashies. He's so low on HP, and Vanity is able to isolate the duel. The Seekers are great, but listen to the timer. Listen to the clock. It is chipped down so far, and no one has spotted Mitch. He still has his utility. He still has the Nano Swarm to delay, and the round, it's already over. A Red Bull clutch for Mitch in the 1 versus 2.
Dude, that play is me on Omen saying, guys, go see, I'm gonna do something crazy. And it just worked. The big brain play and the timing, it could have been squandered if Crashies was just in range to hear that plant, but he had just gotten too far deep into that spawn, and it works perfectly. And the players on the opposite side of the match, on the opposite side of the map, excuse me, being able to match the rotations perfectly of the defenders of OpTic and take them down en route towards that A site. Man, that is just insane and soul crushing, no less. And now Cloud9, 3 rounds to lead.
I don't even know where to begin with that round. It is just so tough that the second that rotation comes through is the second that FNS invests the ult. I was about to praise OpTic because it feels like the strength of this comp, they've been trying to go for these early fights. I think against a setup like Cloud9, your value is in the retake. It's in playing the late round. Double flash, Victor can create so much space off his utility and just off being able to straight up sprint on in and combine that with the relay bolts. It feels like that benefits this team so much better, but again, when you're playing a Sovalist comp, your information is predicated off aggression. You need to invest that utility to fight, and unfortunately for them, they just over-invested it just a tad. In this eco round, it's already not looking great. OpTic has been punished on 3 fronts. C-site is clear. They'll even commit these Sky Seekers just to make sure nothing's going wrong in this one.
Yeah, I love that the Seekers went and tagged the body of Marv. Just like, insult to injury, yeah, we got you, but the Seekers, they're still
That's
gonna...
a weird interaction. I don't think Seekers normally... I feel like they don't usually do that. That's a strange one. Leaf will punish in the end. I'm wondering if it was because the Seeker was paranoid. Because he did get hit by
Yeah.
Vanity's near sight off that paranoia, so I don't know. Interesting one to maybe look back at. Crash at least gets one on his way out of the round, but it's going to be 73 now. C9 pulling an impressive lead here on Haven.
Impressive, given kind of the start to this one, where we're a little surprised that the Neon worked as well as it did in the pistol round. You know, it's a little bit faster, a little bit chaotic. Cloud9 like to play that way, and OpTic best them. In the next couple of rounds, the force even goes away of OpTic, and you're starting to get scared. And then Cloud9 just find a way, like they do time and time again. And I'm wondering, I've been sitting looking at this for quite some time. When are we getting that orbital strike online from
Yeah, it's
Marv?
been there
It
for
seems
ages.
like, yeah, I was thinking save it for the lockdown, but that didn't even happen when Mitch ulted a couple rounds ago. We didn't even see that orbital strike, and in this one, unfortunately, we don't get to see anything out of Crash. He's taken down by the operator in the hands of Leaf, who now has the Blade Storm online, and there it is. Oh, put it up on the opposite side for Ye. Will even the odds, taking Zeta down. The B site seems to be the place that Cloud9 want to find respite. I guess respite might not be the right word. There's so much toss at him. Here comes that orbital strike. The spike gets planted, though, and the overdrive comes through, but Victor immediately gets shut down, and you're seeing the minor flaws are why it's so hard to just run and gun against the accuracy. That is Leaf. As Zeppa finds his way into the kill feed, Mitch will close out the round, and Cloud9 will find an 8.
Yeah, I don't think we really had a chance to talk about this Neon pick outside of her speed and her relay bolts, but I really don't like her ult at a high level. I don't think it is that good in pro play. Compare, who would you have instead? A Jet, the Blade Storm is fantastic. Compared to this one, the TTK is really high. Like, it takes a full second or two to be able to get a frag in. At this level, against a team like Cloud9, they are the majority of the time going to punish you. Even if you are running, even if you are moving, it feels like it's a lot tougher to get the value on out. And sure, if it's combined with the right utility, it can be great, but it's a lot tougher. It's not as round-changing as, say, a Blade Storm, at least from what I've seen thus far. This could be a good bait. Contact back and forth. Ye has reposted on this angle toward a force, but he's getting flashed away. Does he recommit to it? Absolutely. And I have no idea how that's a headshot, but Ye works in mysterious ways.
Ye works in mysterious ways. Give him an inch, he'll take a mile, and that's exactly what happened. Finally, we get that rolling thunder. This one, way of Cloud9. Lockdown also looking to force the players off the C site, and it seems like there's a bit of area that they can continue to play, but it's just not safe. Mitch will finally secure the kill on to Marv as Ye gets one back to the tour de force, and he's still trying to fight his way out. He's got 3 kills on the round, make it 4, and Leaf tried to equalize, could not do it. OpTic fight back for the final round in the half, and we'll see if they keep the fight up after this short break.
some high-octane Valorant to get us going on the day as Cloud9 blaze a trail to 8. But OpTic, they've got the high-speed comp, they got the Neon ready to roll, and it's their attacker side now queued up, Tanner.
Yep, curated perfectly, bringing us back in, making sure you hit all the talking points in the high speed, the high gear. I loved it. The blazing trail that Cloud9 has set. Unfortunately, that pace is going to be slowed a little bit, right? Because Cloud9 now on the defensive side of things. Well, I'm assuming it's going to be slow. We'll see how they do decide to curate this attacking side, as it seems to be just as quick, or their defending side.
Wait a minute. I love this. They placed the forward turret. That was the whole goal of this early fight, to place that for contact to be able to swing off of later for Mitch. I don't know if I've seen a lot of Killjoys do that before, so interesting little setup there. And it's deep enough that they have to be fully